I just want specifically like some pictures of Heather personally for the YouTube thumbnail.
I like how you said personally.
Yeah, not personally.
Not for me.
Personally?
I'm like,
I
hey,
I have a
Caitlin,
scrapbook.
what do you think about Heather? You know what I mean?
That's
no,
a better way
no,
to do
for
it.
my YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
We've been working really hard on like trying to make
We're
YouTube
tightening
as
shit up,
consistent
man.
as
We're a bunch
possible.
of goobers, you know.
All right, I think we've been recording for 20 seconds. We're good. Sick. All right. Hi. You. Hey.
Hola.
There. Hi. I'm just doing it to break the ice. No,
Okay.
you don't have to.
Okay,
You
I
can,
can
you
say
can
I
join
like
in.
30
He's
Hey.
gonna
seconds.
introduce
Hello.
you.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Ron.
Welcome
Burgundy.
back.
Ron Burgundy.
Tits McGee is on vacation.
Yes. But Heather Law is here, and we are hanging out here at Liberty Tattoo. This is the Tough Luck Tattoo Podcast. You are tuning in for episode 8. I am joined with my buddy Nicholas, a.k.a. Niche C Tattooer on Instagram, and Heather Law Tattooer on Instagram as well, which I didn't say before.
Bow down.
Bow down. Relax. So anyway, thanks for taking the big, long drive out here, too.
Seriously.
I know it's pretty far from Orlando to here.
Well, honestly, I live so many places, so it's actually fine.
Yeah,
right on.
Because I don't only live in Orlando. I also live in Cape Coral. Well, I kind of did live in Cape Coral until I lost my house in the hurricane, because that was super
I was going to
lame.
actually bring that up.
Yeah, that
You're
was
crushing that in the first minute and a
you
half
might
of
as
the
well.
podcast.
You
Thanks,
know? So I have basically done my entire career at Forever Tattoo in Cape Coral.
Which is a stellar shop, by the
Right.
way.
Incredible.
And honestly, it's an even better story because I'm Mark's first mentor apprentice.
Oh, that's rad.
And I still work there. I own my own shop, and I still work for him.
That's incredible.
So
It's nice when you meet somebody who like apprenticed under someone who like continues to hold respect for that person.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a very big like theme nowadays where like you meet someone and they're like, oh fuck that guy, like or
Right.
gal.
Yeah.
I'll never talk to them again.
honestly, I don't
need
know
them.
anybody who has a story like Forever Tattoo because, like, ultimately, I'm Mark's
agree.
first apprentice. His second apprentice is Tyler Ferguson. He
Who's
still
rad.
works
I
there.
follow him
So
as
his
well.
his two apprentices still work there.
That's
And again,
awesome.
I own my own shop, and I still work for Mark.
It's fucking
Yeah.
So we have like a really unique family that I've never heard the story from anybody else. And then
I remember the first time I went down there, we were actually going to Nice Guys Pizza, and they were closed. But I was able
oh,
to
that's
like.
a bummer. You went on a Monday.
Yeah, I know.
You
yeah,
went
I
on
did,
a Monday.
I
You shouldn't
did,
have done
I
that.
did. And I
Yeah,
went
you
out
should have
there-
talked to us first. We
I
would have told
should've.
you that they were closed.
Because I've been wanting to get tattooed by you, and I wasn't even a tattooer yet
Likewise.
when that happened. So I was like, I
Oh,
had
God.
been looking at your stuff, and I was like, oh man, I want to get down there. And then Tyler, I think, started just before I started tattooing. Maybe I don't
Very
know what year
possible.
he started. But
Neither did I.
it
I
doesn't
should
matter.
know. I should
Right?
know these
You've been
things.
there the whole time.
Honestly, time is not real, and I
No.
can't keep track of numbers. So
It's
I
completely
have no
made up and
idea.
doesn't matter. But
Probably not.
we were down there at Nice Guys, and we just bought like the whole menu. My friend Mike Devaney brought me down there.
Oh, dude,
And
that's so much money.
Yeah, it was
Mike?
ridiculous. Mike Devaney.
That's
From-
my friend.
Mike and Jocelyn, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are
Oh,
common
great.
friends of
Not-
ours.
as
I love
obviously
that.
not your
I
Bobby.
hate that we're just now doing this
know.
right now.
well, what was funny was the first person I ever tattooed was Mike. So I did my first ever tattoo on
You
Mike.
did a little rose.
The little rose.
I
So I was
love
going to
that.
bring that up because
Yeah.
I was talking about how the day I did that rose, I was
He
like,
probably
don't
hates that
fucking,
rose,
don't
though.
fucking go to Forever Tattoo and show anybody that
Immediately
fucking
showed
rose.
me.
I know.
Texted me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and I go, that's great.
That's super,
That's super
cool,
great.
though.
I
That's
I was
love
so
super
upset
cool.
about that.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't
they
be.
did
No, I
It was
know.
awesome. It was
exactly.
like because it was microscopic.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
like
it
the
is
size
the
of a
smallest.
quarter, I
yeah,
think.
it was the smallest
With
thing.
the- with
I
the
even
leaf.
said that on mic too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you went that small?
Yeah.
Like just the
Yeah.
tiniest he possibly could. I love
Interesting.
that.
I was so nervous too when it happened because it was one of those moments where he was my neighbor at the time. So
Okay.
yeah, I lived right next door to him, and Lena was like, "All right, it's time for you to do a tattoo," just out of the blue. And I was like, "All right."
Oh,
and she's like, "Who
okay.
can you call?" And I was like, I called like 4 people and nobody answered, and I messaged Mike like on a whim, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I'll come down. I'm on my way." And I did that tattoo, sweating
They
bullets.
are a couple of my favorite people I've ever met. I'm so pumped they moved down here.
They're so
Like,
supportive.
Yeah. And like Mike is like one of the most supportive people ever also
Yeah.
like with everything. Like he was so pumped on that. And then like because we're supposed to be working on like covering all that other weird trash all
Yeah.
over him.
He's
He's
got,
like,
like,
but you
weird new
can't touch
school."
this. Yeah. And I'm like, I won't touch a rose. I promise.
Relax, man.
Yeah.
Relax. I asked him a couple times if I could like fix it or
No, he
something,
will
but there's
not
no
let you.
sense in me even trying to fix
No,
it.
it's a
at this
memory.
point. Yeah.
It means
You
something
know?
to him.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, for sure.
It does. He's really proud of
I
me.
have shit tattoos that mean really a lot to
Yeah,
me. you
most
know?
of the stuff that I have that's like hot trash. I'm just like, I'm accepting that. I
Yeah,
have
just
it.
accept who you have 'em,
Yep.
you know?
He
Yeah,
knows what I'm
that's
talking
it.
about.
And again, they're all memories. They're like a moment in time.
Yeah,
You know,
for
and
sure.
like, unless like you truly hate the person, I guess, if like you really need to
Yeah,
cover it.
yeah,
Like if it's like something
cut it off.
Yeah, if it's like something about like a healing process for you and you need to move forward from it, then
Yeah.
like cool. But other than that, I just tell people to leave everything.
Yeah, that's kind of how I
Yeah,
am
it's
too.
part of my life. I have a bunch of shit, man.
Yeah.
I do, unfortunately. But, you know, it is what it is, man. And you know, I used to beat myself up a lot, like mentally. And so I started, like, working conventions and stuff, seeing, like, other, like, all the people I looked up to, they're all like covered in like
Trash.
mostly like
Just
trash.
nothing but
I'm
trash.
like, all right, man, everything's gonna be cool, man. You know what I mean?
My favorite is like you have this like this mental image of like what a tattooer looks like that you've never met before, and then you meet them and you're like, oh, you're not any different than me.
Yeah, and like 'cause you just expect that they're going to be covered head to toe in like the most amazing tattoos you've ever seen in your entire life. No, normally not.
Never the case.
Well, and I'm actually really lucky because I do like all of mine.
Stuff.
And another thing I'm gonna thank Mark Stewart for because he didn't let me get
Yeah.
stupid shit. I was like, I want a My Little Pony sleeve. He's like, no, you do not.
Never.
You do not
Trust
want that.
me.
And he's like, I promise, when you get older, you won't want that. I'm like, yes, I do. You don't know me. And every single year, I thank him a couple times a year. Just be like, you remember that stupid idea I had?
It's
Thank
not a
you.
phase, Mark.
Yeah, I was gonna have a back piece of stars. I hate stars.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, this was the
Dude,
best
worst
idea I
shit.
ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna. Each one of my friends was gonna color in their own star.
Oh sick.
Ugh, best
Sick.
idea I ever had in the early 2000s.
Color
You know?
it in, man.
That's
whatever
that's
you
on
want.
par with like I want every one of my kids' names tattooed
Yeah,
on me.
exactly. But like hidden
Yes.
in each leaf.
And hidden in each leaf.
Which
yes.
that's like the one I always have the hardest time with. I'm like, you probably like your kids. Why are you trying to like hide their name and everything? Why do they always want to hide
You
it?
know what my problem with that is? I can't
Why?
conceptualize that idea.
No.
I can't think of a way that can look cool, and I haven't seen anybody
Make it look cool.
make it look cool
And
yet.
again, why do they want to hide that one? Like, if
Yeah.
I just stop hiding name, or just don't get them.
Yeah.
Just don't get them.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I remember my buddy Jeff when I first started tattooing. I think it was Jeff. He just did like this
Akers?
lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, Akers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to be on the podcast here soon. And this
Gonna
lady
guest
came
spot
in and
here.
she had like a laundry list of names. Like I'm telling you, like 18 names, and he just did them like. He was like, he tried to talk her out of it, tried his best to like, hey, you don't want this. This is not a good idea. And he
But
just
I also
blasted them.
tattoo for a living.
I also need
He's
to
like,
pay
I have
my
to give her.
bills.
I have to give her what she wants, man. So he did all of those names like just straight down her arm, and it was just it was rough.
You know, and that's one thing I'm gonna call myself out on. I am terrible at lettering.
Yeah,
like
me
drawing
too.
it. Like I should be a professional at it at this point, but my own handwriting is like a serial killer. So I should not
I
be
did
able.
someone else like that.
I just can't do it. Like my own is, and like they're like draw it and make it flowy. I'm like, it looks like it's like everything's so forced.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, anytime somebody wants like really amazing script, I'm like, you better find someone else to draw it, and I
Like,
can
nah,
tattoo
man,
it.
I'll
No
work
problem.
around it.
Yep.
Yeah. Or if you want to, you can go onto font. You
Yeah.
know, like
that font.
yeah,
font.
duh font, you know.
Yeah.
Feel
Dot
free to
edu.
find a font on there that you like. I can for sure do it
Yeah.
really clean. But please do not ask me. And the amount of people who are like, dude, I just want it to be like your handwriting.
Yeah,
Like, you don't
no,
want
you
that.
don't.
I promise you do not. You do not. I also can't
However-
spell. So
Yeah.
this is really a gamble.
Listen,
you know?
I can't spell and I can't write.
So
I
listen,
probably shouldn't be.
I
the
had
guy
a
to
really
do
cool
this tattoo.
approach though. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
so listen. Last time I did like handwrite, I like just I put the stencil down. It was identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a stencil and I just drew like it was a piece of like ripped up fucking paper.
Yeah.
Some like tratty flowers. It actually looked. It's the coolest version of someone's handwriting
Yes.
that I've ever seen.
That you could do.
Like naturally,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Is about as cool as you're gonna get. And I thought I was fucking like Bill Gates when I was like, bing.
Genius.
Yeah, but
I worked with so
yeah,
many
it's probably
dudes
not
that
the first
were-
one.
Like being in Los Angeles, I worked with so many dudes that like that was what they did. Like
Yeah.
they just did lettering and they didn't
Sure,
care. They didn't give
yeah.
a fuck about anything else. And I was like, cool. Every time someone comes in, I'm like,
You.
that's your guy.
And, like,
I'm not the
that's-
dude for you.
You know, and I was taught like you're not like supposed to do that, and like you need to learn how to do everything
Mm-hmm.
because like the what ifs and like,
That's how
you know,
Yeah.
so there was a time period that I didn't work at Forever Tattoo. Me and Mark had a little bit of a hiccup. We jokingly call it the dark times. So there was a time period where I wasn't at Forever during the dark times, and I worked with a bunch of new school artists in realism, and one of those dudes was like super good at lettering, and he's like, what is wrong with you? And he tried for months to teach me.
Yeah.
And by like, I'd probably say like 3 months in, he just threw the paper across the room, and he's like, I don't know why you can't do this. I just don't understand. And he's like, I fucking hate you. And he's like, your shit is stupid, and no one likes anchors. And then like goes in the other room, and I'm like, that was a good time working at.
Without somebody getting frustrated or upset with you though, like
every day of my life. It's every day of my life. Someone's upset with me or stressed out.
But without that, lower your voice, please. I think there's nothing to strive for. For tomorrow to be better at or anything like that. Tell you suck. I tell myself I suck
every
most
day.
days. You know what I mean?
Keep yourself humble.
Yes. Tons of people, Bobby tells me I suck.
Nick caught me the other day shading something like on my value study backwards. And he was like, hey,
I felt so bad saying it.
No, dude, but those are the moments that you need those moments.
But I appreciate you and I respect you and stuff,
Well, that shows to me like that you actually care because you know that I give a shit too. You know what I mean? I just didn't catch something at the moment, and then he stepped in. Like I hadn't tattooed backwards,
Yeah.
But he caught it before I had made a mistake or tattooed it backwards.
And also being able to accept the criticism, I think is super important because obviously that's something so hard for most people to be able to do. Mm-hmm. I still go into every single tattoo as if like Mark is going to look at it, and he still does.
You should.
Where he'll zoom in. He's like, what the fuck is this line? And I go, the person moved. He goes, I shouldn't know that.
Nope.
Shouldn't know that.
Yeah, my mentor, my original mentor, he told me like the difference between someone who's not a professional and a professional is a professional can make it look like you didn't make a mistake.
Yeah.
And like I still feel like I struggle with that nonstop. Like I try my best to pass everything, but it doesn't always go that way, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
So Heather, how long have you been tattooing?
Ooh, I love that. It's that whole like remembering numbers and like time periods. I think I'm at 16, either 15 or 16. Me and Mark argue about that all the time.
Looks like
15,
30.
16.
I like 30.
Yeah, whatever, 20 years. I'll just keep lying about my age and how many years,
I started when I was 7.
Yeah.
Do that every
day. I remember Mark was getting his hand tattooed by Chad Koplinger, and at one point he, like, 'cause I was with Mark, and he was like, how long have you been tattooing? And I'm like, a year. He's like, 5. You've been tattooing 5 years. And he's like, don't tell anyone how long you've actually been tattooing. And I'm like, I feel bad about lying. He's like, why? You're never going to see any of these people again, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
But
that's some really wise
I think
words.
15 or 16.
That's rad.
And
as
I've been
realistic as possible.
So like, and that's the thing that's like always confusing to me because like, so this year, 2023, Forever Tattoo technically will be 18 years, even though we kind of cheated and we did our 17 year like a month ago, and we're all messed up with our times and numbers. Yeah. Like our anniversary party is never in the correct time because we've done it. Yeah. It's always been a Christmas party, a Halloween party, a summer beach bash. We had a prom one time. That was, I think, in the middle of summer.
That sounds super
one of my clients one time was like, when are you guys when did you open? I'm like, actually, I don't even know at this point. Y'all right?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Iron Man sitting here.
Yeah. And again, it's these rolly chairs. I really feel like this is potential disaster.
We need to do something about the
like a real comfortable wooden stool, you know? So you
maybe
feel
fixed, maybe concrete. You know what I mean?
We could probably just fix
like cinder blocks.
Yes.
Sorry about
so
that,
like
guys.
my chin will be in the right spot.
We should get an actual like studio space where we can record this in a studio.
Yeah,
Michael J. Fox just
like
can't stop shaking his kneecaps here.
Yeah.
Nonstop. I'm gonna check and make sure the audio is good. All right, we're cool. But that's rad. So what was? So you had been tattooing for a hot minute because you just recently opened up Lucky Horse in
2020.
Orlando. Yeah.
And my theory is if it failed, I could blame it on 2020.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
I'd be like, why would anybody open a business in 2020?
Who the fuck would open
Obviously.
up a business?
Yeah, that's just not going to work.
Right.
You know? So that was my game plan with that. It was supposed to be a private studio. I failed at that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Why was that?
People wanted to work for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't say no. And I was like, I really should say no because I don't want to be a babysitter. Because
I hate people.
Because like I've done my whole career in Cape Coral.
Yeah.
So I have years of clients, and I've lived there almost my whole life. So you know, it's like high school and all these generations. So I actually wasn't trying to move to Orlando. It was supposed to be a place that I could go do guest spots and just go up whenever I went to. My little brother, he works at a barbershop next door to my shop.
Yeah.
And he's really the whole reason why this happened anyways. There's a barbershop next door called Townies.
Okay.
And he's worked there, and he's like, dude, there's a place for rent. I go, cool, I don't care.
Yeah, don't care.
Yeah, and he's like, well, why don't you care? And
I'm
like,
Cape Coral, dude, don't care.
Yeah, and I'm like, because it's 2020 and I haven't worked in a minute.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, and I go, just to hang out with you, and you're not really worth it.
Yeah.
You know,
Orlando is like
My sister
4
was there.
hours
Yeah.
from Cape Coral too, right? It's like it's a hot minute.
Yeah, it's a
'cause
hot minute. If you get trapped on I-4, yeah, it could
Yeah.
be eternity.
sure that
You don't know
Oh,
how
wait, I think
long.
you can.
Yeah,
I'm trying
yes.
to think. You can go like the back way, right? Like
Yes.
the cool.
Yes, everyone tells me that.
the
You know how many
country roads?
Yeah, you know how many speeding tickets, and also my
Yes.
biggest fear in life is being stuck in a podunk redneck town.
Yes.
That is my actual fear. Like, you know the Hills Have Eyes movie?
Yeah.
That is my biggest fear.
Yeah,
So
I-
no, I will not go back through those country roads. Absolutely not.
I got
That's where
clipped
I
one
was
time doing.
before.
I was doing
country roads?
70,
No.
70 on those country roads in
Yeah.
a 35.
Yeah, and
Cop
all it is
almost
speed
arrested me
traps.
that night.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
they,
nuts.
they
Not
give
doing
no
it.
fucks.
Yeah, they
man.
don't care.
I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the 75 Chrome Shop there at exit 329.
I choose to not go down those roads.
Wildwood, motherfucking Florida. That's where I work.
Wildwood,
Just so
Florida.
you guys
Yeah.
know, man.
And I'm sure
and I
you
crushed
had the
it.
most amazing
I
clients.
I sucked that thing. I sucked that town dry, man. Honestly, and those people love me.
Yeah.
Probably
but,
the only interesting thing going on over there.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, to say the least, yes.
Yeah.
I always try to
Yeah.
like understand where Nick's from, like, and because I've never been to a place like that. Like, I went to Ocala once in my life, and that
not
was
great,
it. And
man,
yeah, I
you
just,
know?
Yeah.
I have no real want to go to a small town like that.
Yeah.
You know, and like there's so a couple of my buddies, like, you know, they live in like Titusville and like that side.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I have no idea what is over there. I have never been over there. When that dude Wyatt worked with me for a little bit, he also lives somewhere over there. And every time he would tell me, I was like, isn't that like this place? He's like, no. And I'm like, I'm just not going to look at a map.
Yeah.
I don't care enough.
Yeah.
I'm never going to go over there. So I have no reason
Yeah.
to
There's
look.
no reason to know.
Yeah. There's no reason to know. We all know in Florida, like Miami, Fort Lauderdale matters.
Sure.
Tampa matters.
Yep.
Orlando. And then we all know that Tallahassee and Jacksonville exist. We also just don't go there.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
that's about it. There's
and there's
nothing
like
else.
one or two reasons to go to Gainesville, and then that's it.
Yeah,
if you go to
one,
college,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Like
well, if you
one.
go to college.
Sure.
My
yeah,
buddy,
you go to
my,
party.
Fest.
well,
You don't
Anthem
have kids,
Tattoo
go to
is there,
Fest.
and those
Oh, yeah.
guys are awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, you have
For
two
sure.
reasons.
Two reasons.
Two
Yeah.
reasons. You know, and there's probably other awesome people there. I just can't remember everybody's
Love
shop
Rich,
and everybody's name.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them guys, man, in Gainesville,
Alamo.
and I have a dozen customers from Gainesville that come down here and travel and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like such a huge privilege, really, because like, I'm like, dude, these dudes are solid. Like, why are you coming down here? You know what I mean? Realistically, like, it's a like huge, naturally, like a huge privilege. Like, those guys are. Rich
Yeah.
Mile is solid, and there's a handful of other ones.
Yeah, working down the street from Josh Marks' shop, I was like, "Why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting tattooed by me? He's right over." And I would actually be like,
You should.
if you want one, I'll give you a tattoo. If not, like,
Yeah,
three
over there?
blocks, three
Yeah.
blocks, head up the
There's a
street, dude.
guy,
Yeah, there's a
bro.
guy
Yeah,
over there
yeah.
that I would get tattooed by. But and I know he has time because he posted today that he has time for walk-ins.
Yeah.
Go over there.
Well, I think one thing about social media that's like a really interesting, like, double-edged sword. So, like,
It is.
now everybody, like, so it's a double-edged sword because it's free for us and it's a way for us to advertise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of, like, TikTok and all these other ones, people, and because of 2020, we all had time to be on our phones a little bit more. So
Sure.
basically, we've opened up the doors for people to know us better and like what our jobs are like.
Very
And the
much
cool thing about that also is like now that they're getting to know these tattooers that they saw on the internet because they feel comfortable because we have to realize we are now catering to new generations that are
Yeah,
completely different.
Unfortunately, yes.
You know, exactly, unfortunately. But you know what? So, like, they want to know their tattooers. They want to know who they're getting tattooed by. They
Sure.
want to feel comfortable. They want to know more about us, which I'm even bad at. Like, people normally don't even know what I look like because I don't post on my tattooer page what I look like. I have to learn how to, like, adjust that a little bit. But what I do like also about this is that people are now willing to collect more.
Yes.
You know, and like that's why you'll have people driving down from Gainesville all the way down here,
sure.
you know, and all over the place because people are now
Agreed.
like they're excited about the idea of collecting.
Also, I think
Collecting
sometimes
is more acceptable. Like
Now,
you're not
yeah.
gonna hurt
Yeah.
fucking
What's his
Ryan
nuts' his feelings.
Jay's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
feelings. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Well,
And now
also, I
you're a
think that,
collector.
that tattooers nowadays are a little bit more open to being like, hey, you should, like, this happened. I mean, with Chase being right up the street from us, like, there were a couple clients that I had, and I was like, yo, like, you've snagged 5 or 6 tattoos from me. Like, you should go grab one from Chase.
Yeah.
He's right down the street.
For
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And, like,
because there is enough clients and money to go around
Of
for all
course.
of us to like share the same clients. And
Tons
like
of
really,
skin.
it's like so hypocritical of us to think that we can collect, but they can't. We don't
Exactly.
own
Right,
anybody's
right.
bodies. That's like super psychotic.
another thing I really like, too, is, and this sometimes is a detriment, but clients know a little bit more about the process of tattooing now, and it's pretty cool to like
Which
have
I
this.
like.
Yeah, I think it's rad.
Yeah.
And like I had
You
this
know?
kid come in, and he's like, "Hey, like the last guy used an 11 round on me. Can you do the same?" And I was like,
Like,
"Yeah, sure. I was going
sure,
to do that
cool.
anyway." But
Yeah.
like, all right, man.
My favorite,
But-
they're like, my favorite is like, dude's like, oh, using a tight 3? I'm like, yes, for sure.
Yeah,
On
totally.
this giant traditional eagle.
I
Yeah,
tight
tight
three
3.
everything.
Everything. Threes
Nick
all day.
has a
I
secret
use
that he
tight
likes to
threes
throw on it.
everything,
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
you know.
Everything.
Holler at me.
Tight 3
Yeah.
in a 15 mag
I
tube
don't.
with no rubber band.
Yeah.
That's the
In
ticket.
a 13 mag.
13
yes,
mag tube,
with
that's
no
what it was.
rubber bands.
No rubber
yes,
bands.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you want
yeah.
thick lines, that's the ticket.
Realistically, you earn that shit. So
Yeah. But no, I really have enjoyed that part of the internet, kind of like bringing more people to understanding the styles of tattooing and make like you don't have to really talk as many people into getting traditional now
No.
than you did, you know, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think also like the popular page on Instagram has really helped people because like if they liked one tattoo, all they're doing is seeing tattoos.
Yes.
And they're seeing how popular the traditional ones are,
Yep.
and like you know, it's like we still have to work. I mean, you still have to sell
still
yourself
tough,
a little
yeah.
bit, you know. But in general, it's just made it a little bit
I feel
easier.
Like our seller, though, I mean, correct me if you feel otherwise. You know, like our seller is the healed photos. The
I think
healed
so.
pictures.
I think that's a
seeing
seller
it
for
out and
tattooers.
about
That's a
and
seller
in
for
person.
tattooers.
That's like
Yeah.
13 years. Like, oh my God,
Well, like-
how old is that? And they're like, oh, I got this in 2006 or what? I'm not.
I remember you
whatever,
posted
but
a Mike Chambers piece that you got.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, I think it was 10 years healed at the time that you posted it. And I was like, that was one of the
Solid.
first times that I saw like a super solid 10-year-old tattoo.
Yeah.
Because like I grew up around bikers, so it was all, you know,
Smushed
up and
Smushed
gone.
green.
but to see Mike's work, and that was at a point in my career where I was
used
like,
to say Leslie.
yeah, now
No,
now
it
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
It never said that.
But that was a point in my career where I was trying to learn how to apply tattoos well and like do a lot of solid color. So like to see, and I went to one of Mike's seminars as well, like a couple weeks after that, and I was like, man, like I should really take in everything this dude's talking about.
Yeah, because
he's doing it right.
Yeah, and he's been around, you know. So like his big thing, like when he posted the Florida Panther, that's the one, like the rose Florida Panther
Yeah.
on my leg. He, you know, it was like definitely a trend for a while, and it still is, where like people were using like 14, like 18 rounds, like they were doing crazy shit because they
Yeah.
wanted those big ass bold lines. And he's like, hey, everyone, like chill out, because like in a couple years it is going to be one giant black blob. And so when he did that one, I think he used a 9, but
Yeah.
that's what he was kind of saying. It's like you can get those same kind of looks, but you don't have to use the biggest needle on the planet because it is going to expand and get bigger.
I learned JD, I think his name's JD Burnett. He's a tattooer, I think locally in Florida or somewhere close to Florida. I know Cody Martin gets tattooed by him, but it doesn't matter.
Fair
He
enough.
does stuff with like a tight 5, and it still has a whole bunch of power. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
if you
probably
can
using
make-
enough black.
Yeah, well, that's the ticket.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
using enough black.
But seeing somebody that can still get a bunch of power out of their tattoo with a tight 3 or a tight 5 is pretty nuts. Like Henry
Yeah.
Lewis
Like the
is another
solid
person, like
7.
just super power
I feel like
as
sevens
soon
is
as he's
like the
done.
medium though. You know,
I like
the
8s.
sevens.
8s are my shit. Like just
Yeah.
straight 8s are
You're
awesome.
doing against the grain.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying something new. Those Smith
But,
Street
you
8s
know.
are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they're awesome.
I would just say like using enough black
About
and
it.
putting enough
Yeah.
contrast. Like
need
the
the
amount of
blacks.
times in my life, or not my life, my career, because it's not my whole life. When I was like 5, no one's like, man, you use a lot of black and everything. It's like, that's not happening.
Every time you picked up a
Yeah.
Crayola crayon, it
Yeah,
was the
every
black one.
time. People are like, that's so
Straight
impressive.
to black.
So, you know, throughout my career, like if somebody sees my work or they see something like who did that and like they're like a girl did that, the amount of times I have heard that is, I don't want to say infuriating, but like, ugh, Jesus.
I will
Yeah.
say I'm guilty of saying that about one of your tattoos that are on Ty.
Perfect.
And-
Because they're
no,
tough
Now
to
you're an
nail.
enemy.
I'll, no,
No,
I'll,
no,
I'll
I'm
do
kidding.
it. I'll do it. I'll be the enemy for a moment. But I
It's
saw
so
this
proper.
avocado that you did on his leg, and I'm sure you probably don't even remember the tattoo. But you did his girl and
yeah, they have
him
matching ones. One
matching,
has the bubble
yeah.
and one does not.
And
Yeah,
I was
remember.
like, that is tough as fuck. And then he told me he did it. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, let me look at some more of her work. You know what I mean? I was
Sweet,
like,
what are you doing here?
yeah, why is there so much power in this tattoo? But that was kind of when I first found out about Forever Tattoo, was around that time when
Yeah,
I started
yeah.
becoming friends with Ty, and he was telling me about it.
Oh, yeah.
But he really
Ty,
enjoyed getting
yeah.
tattooed down there. He talked about how
Yeah.
great.
I've still yet
but
to
he was
meet
like,
Ty.
yeah. He was like, dude, I sat down and it was like a fire was lit behind Heather's eyes, and she started tattooing me because it fucking hurt. And
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
it
hell
hurts.
yeah, dude.
Like Mark calls me Heather Hammerhands.
Love that.
But
okay.
That's
but
perfect.
it does not, and he keeps spreading that rumor.
Yeah.
And like, dude, so many people are so afraid to get tattooed by me now. It's kind of insane.
I
Like,
love that.
Like
I dig it.
his name is Travis. He was a shop help at Rise Above. He's not the shop help anymore, but I was about to tattoo the side of his knee, and I put the stencil on. I'm like finishing setting up, and I go back, and he is sweating the stencil off, and I mean beads of sweat. And I go, "What is happening? Are you okay?" And then I'm like, "Did you do drugs? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Dude." Like, both the Scotts were telling me that I'm going to die. They kept telling me that you're Heather Hammerhands, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do. I can't do this. I'm like,
afraid
I
of the
can't do this.
mittens.
There's no stencil
Yeah,
anymore.
now your stencil's gone, dude. I can't do your tattoo.
It was like one of like the most stressful first couple moments of my life because I started shaking because
Yeah.
like
am
stencil-
I Heather
yeah.
Hammerhands?
I'm like, oh god, and then but then I'm like, after like one line in, I was like, none of them have been tattooed by me.
Nope.
So they actually have no idea. Did you ask them that? And he goes, no. And then I did a couple lines. He's like, oh, this is fine.
isn't
I'm like,
bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
this isn't bad at all.
Because
I-
it's solid,
dude.
Yeah.
bold. You know,
Yeah.
what
I
I
was
mean,
I was
But
at
it's
the
gonna
Tampa
hurt.
convention, and
all
Trevor had tried to get a tattoo from Josh Bovender and had gone off to the ATM,
Yep.
and I stopped tattooing, and I didn't know that he had done that, and I snuck over to Josh's booth. I had just enough time. I was like, hey man, let me get one of your flash pieces. He's like, yeah, some dude said he was going to the ATM and was going to come back, and I was like, well, I'm here with cash in my pocket.
Right here.
So and I had no idea it was Trevor at the time. Yeah,
I like it.
And I caught his fucking his walk up, and I was getting tattooed by Josh, and he had put the stencil on, and then like, you know, we were chatting and bullshit, and Trevor came back. I was like, oh fuck you, man, I was gonna get tattooed, and then Josh fucking lit an 11 and started tattooing me, and I fucking went flush like
Yeah.
as soon as he started. And
Yeah.
he was running one of those Dan Cuban machines, just fucking wrecked my world. But
Well,
that
and-
tattoo's rock solid,
You know,
so I don't give a
and-
fuck.
And sometimes it is the area, you know, like
Yeah.
it's not always my fault. Like a lot of people in Cape Coral, Mark Stewart took all the good spots. You
Yeah.
know, all the normal spots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm like tattooing their knee ditch, the arm ditch, the Achilles tendon, you know,
Yeah.
like all these like weird things. And they're like, you're a monster. I'm like, really?
It's because you're making me tattoo your
Yeah.
armpit.
Like
That's
there's,
why.
yeah, like there's
Yeah.
nothing else. Like, honestly, I have like barely any room on me. And on Monday I got tattooed by Brad Fink. And, oh, you want to talk about torture. The knee ditch is something.
Yeah.
That's something
Yeah.
else.
That's one spot I don't have tattooed.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to get it.
I'm close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might as well do it and just get it done. But man, that is made of nightmares.
Oh yeah, I saw Trevor get his done. That was
Yeah.
hard.
Oh, yeah. Oh
Like
my
so,
God,
like
solid
the guys
review.
at Classic, like I've known
Yeah.
them my entire career, and I talk a lot to the point where like that's all people make fun of me for is talking a lot. And for the first time ever, I was quiet for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And Ryan Collins like, dude, are you okay? Are you gonna be okay? Because I've never heard you shut up. And I'm like, no, I kind of want to die right now. And Brad's like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's my need to check.
Yeah, there's really no way around
know,
this. It's
no.
gonna suck.
It's just gonna suck.
Get it over with.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that's one of those spots that like I'm waiting to get that spot done, but I don't know if I should wait any longer.
Don't.
Like I'm running out of time.
Just don't, yeah.
It's
I'm
like
trying
my
to
back,
find,
my
like,
back
the
is still wide
perfect
open too,
person.
and I've just been so apprehensive to
Yeah.
do it. And I'm just like, I just want to get into Trevor's books, just do my back, just get it done.
Yeah, just
Like,
get it done.
You know what I mean? I'm still working on my torso.
He's so
and-
gentle with me, though. I'm like, before he starts anything, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, buddy. I
Also,
love
you can be like more of a
Be
baby
gentle,
with your
you know?
friends.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or like
yeah,
people you're
yeah,
close
yeah,
with. Like if it's
totally.
like somebody you like look up to, or you know you're intimidated
He's
by
like,
in
yeah,
some kind of way.
motherfucker, I love you
I'm like
too.
all of a sudden I'm like the toughest fucking person on the planet. And I'm like
Yep.
trying to talk totally fine, but if it's like my friend, I'm like, oh my god, why are you hurting me like this?
Are you mad
You
at
know,
me?
like I'm sorry, whatever I did, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Chaz started tattooing my neck, and I was like, dude, fast and good.
Yeah.
That's all I said. I
Well,
was like,
that's
fast
why
and
I
good.
wanted Brad to
Get
do
it
like
done.
the back of my knee. I mean, he's been tattooing since he was 17. I think he's 50 now. Which I keep telling
That's super
everybody
cool.
that he's like 72, so you better get tattooed by him quick. You know, his days are numbered.
He's actually
Oh, yeah.
36.
You know, so
He's been
it's
tattooing for 30 years.
yeah, you know. So and then like I'm gonna have Julio do the other knee ditch, and Julio's fast as fuck
Julio's
too.
so fast.
Yeah, so
God
I
damn.
I'm just gonna have those two knocked out, be done with that.
Yeah. I was thinking about I'm on this adventure to get the top of my head tattooed next, and I started the side, and I feel like I have like this bowl cut kind of going on where I don't have anything on
You
one
got
side,
something.
but yeah, I want to get something on top, and
You
I
got
was thinking
something
about
going
having
on.
Julio do it, and I'm gonna end up probably having him do the side,
Yeah.
just because he's so quick.
He's
just, like,
quick
knock
and
it out.
solid, and
Yeah.
like seeing his tattoos healed, he's incredible.
I want
So,
to get Julio on the podcast as well. That'd be sick.
That'd be cool.
yeah.
He's such a
Future.
quiet dude, though. He didn't
He is.
really talk very much when I was
okay.
getting tattooed. I think I was talking at him the whole time.
Yeah, you know, I think it takes him like a minute to kind of also
Warm
open
up.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Sure.
people are like that. You know, he's from Miami.
Understandable.
You know, it happens.
Yeah.
You know what's great is we are at the 30-minute mark already. How crazy is that?
Is
30
that
minutes.
crazy?
Yeah, because we
It
do.
kind of
we
is.
do
Like I feel like we just started.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
We do like a little mini advertisement, but not really an advertisement at the middle where
We could
we
post your Haynes
yeah.
t-shirt.
This is about so no, in all reality though, the little ad that we're going to do here at the 30-minute mark is going to be if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Music and you don't mind rating the podcast 5 stars, that would be super radical.
Yeah.
And if you don't have us on Instagram yet, it is Tough Luck Tattoo Podcast on Instagram, and then on the link in our bio we have all of our merch and everything like that, so you can hop on there and grab a t-shirt if you'd like. We don't have any here in person. I know a few people have stopped into the shop to grab some. They're all
I
online.
tried giving Heather.
We keep trying to give them
Chase as
away, and we
well.
don't have all the sizes.
Yeah.
You're like, you either get a 2XL
Yeah.
or
You know, we double X. This is PJ's girl.
Yeah.
we're
yeah.
we're trying
Sleep
to build
shirt.
a wind sail, and that's it. But no, in all seriousness, though, if you don't mind tapping that and going into our bio and snagging a shirt, that would be radical. All the money goes to us, and it helps us fund the podcast.
Realistically, they turned out really cool.
They turned out way
this
cooler
was
than I
our
thought they
very
were going
first
to.
time using
Very
this
clean,
company.
very
like,
classic.
Yeah.
Super clean. You know, we're just trying to keep classic around, and they turned out incredible.
Yeah.
All screen printed.
And Chase,
stuff.
if you're listening, you owe me a design still to put on a shirt. He
Yeah,
hasn't
we
sent it
need
over
that
yet.
like yesterday.
Yeah, 'cause
dude,
his episode was, like,
Did
4
you give
weeks
him
ago.
like an actual timeline?
I should have. Well,
You
no.
should
You
have
know
done
what's
that.
funny is he sent it to me and then I lost it on my
Oh,
iPad. So
okay.
it's on
Yeah.
me. I
Listen,
messaged
everything
him.
about this is super gray. So
Yeah.
there's no
We
way.
did a whole
You know
episode.
what I
We did a
mean?
whole 2-hour
He's
episode.
like, yeah, cool. I'll get that to you.
Yeah, and we lost it. A whole 2-hour episode, and then it was gone, and we all just sat here and we were like, "Well,
Cool.
time to not
It
do
happens,
this
you
ever
know?
again."
Yeah.
But no,
I would have quit actually after that point. I would have. I'm like,
I was
that
ready.
was fun.
I was
Yeah.
totally ready. I was like, man, you guys fucking tell me to show up, man. I'm getting out of here.
I showed up, lost the whole episode, and then went home and was super mad. But
Yeah.
I make sure that there's enough space on my iPad now to make a podcast
That's
because I
super
didn't
cool.
do that
Yeah.
before we
I
started.
mentally can't even handle like reels are like a thing
Oh,
that
yeah.
you're supposed to do
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
Instagram. I tried, I made one, and it didn't work, and I basically almost had like a full-on meltdown, and I was like, well, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I'm not good with computers. I am not good with technology. My future's not looking bright.
I want to say,
You know?
Mike was telling me when you first got an iPad, you used it as like a light box.
Oh,
if I
shit,
remember
they-
correctly, I remember
Yeah.
that story now.
Yep,
That
he
you had-
100% made
Yeah.
fun of me. He actually had to buy me a pencil because
Yeah.
I was trying to use my finger.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, I forgot that I forgot that he knew that.
Yeah.
he was like, "What are you doing?" Because like he's not even a tattooer; he's a photographer, and he's like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing?" I was taping paper to the iPad and I was tracing over it,
Yep.
and he's like, "This is not the point." And he goes, "Why aren't you using your pen?" I go, "I never bought one."
I never bought the pen. I didn't know I needed it.
I did, yeah, and I was like,
Using my finger, dude.
yeah, and I'm like, I just use it to trace stuff and make it bigger and smaller. And he's
Sitting
like,
here
that
like
was dumb.
Middle school tracing
And
with
again,
your
because
finger.
I did
finger
my
painting.
whole career on paper, and
Yeah.
now that I've been using an iPad for years, now I don't know how to use paper.
Yeah.
I keep double
Yeah.
tapping the paper or like doing a
Yeah,
line and
yeah.
holding it,
Yep. Yep.
and I sit there for a while, and I'm like, fuck, this is paper.
I took like 3 years off, or 3 years off of like doing art on paper, and I was just using the iPad. And then I grabbed my nib that I had in my apprenticeship, and I started I sat down and I was gonna paint, and I was gonna nib the whole thing, and I fucking pulled one line and I just put the whole thing away.
Yeah,
I was
you're
like, I'm
like,
done.
nope.
That's it.
I will say I still paint Flash, so there's
Yeah,
that. I still
I
do
need to
that.
do that more.
But just like my drawings, like at Forever at one point, because like it's a beach town. Well, it was a beach town until we lost the whole goddamn beach.
Now it's all a beach.
Yeah, it's just
No offense to Cape
not
Coral. That was a little
now the
dark.
sand's gone, but
bless
these
you.
people wanted to come in and get tiny palm trees. I'm like, I'll just draw that on paper real quick. And the amount of times that I like did this and like held it,
Yeah.
and then again the double tap or the triple tap to bring that pencil back.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna draw it on your finger. I don't even know why
Yeah,
I'm doing this
drawing
right now.
it on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to.
I had a
want to
couple
start
markers,
using paper more.
you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I go through these moments where I'm like, I can do that on paper, and then I'm like, this would be so much faster if I had my iPad. Why am I doing this on paper?
Yeah, and like when I've had people kind of fight me on it, because I'm friends with like the same generation and or older, and man, they want to fight you on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, why would I want to do that? And they always have like weird things like Sailor Jerry didn't have an iPad. And you're like, well, yeah, he also didn't have Pinterest.
Yeah.
I don't know
And there
anybody
wasn't
like that.
phones and there wasn't
talked
the internet.
We talked about that on our last episode or Chaz's episode where it was like, if you think Sailor Jerry was alive right now and he wouldn't use an iPad,
Yeah.
you're fucking crazy.
Why would
Yeah,
anybody not want to use
yeah.
tools to make their job easier? Like
Yeah.
in all industries do that.
Yeah.
All industries advance and things change, and like new technology comes out to make the job easier and make you more efficient. So
Just trying to stay afloat.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be drowned by technology.
No.
I also
I
don't
wanna
want to be
stay
that,
afloat. I
that
want the
like
most
that
minimal.
tech dude from Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
You absolutely are.
I'm a
You
fucking
are
wizard.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I
you
am,
are.
unfortunately.
You're so
Good at the
above
technology.
I'm just
all of
I'm
us.
tech boy,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Naturally, you know
That's
what I
where I
mean?
landed.
But you have a good balance.
Yeah.
I would say that.
I don't like show up to the tattoo shop with VR goggles on.
No,
yet.
not yet.
No, no,
Soon.
Not
I'm
yet.
going to
no.
be tattooing in the metaverse.
That being said, I want
soon.
some VR goggles.
I'm proud of myself from graduating from taping paper to my iPad to just using the iPad.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that was a
honestly.
big step. That was
Yeah.
a huge step.
How do you feel about how cool it is that information is traveling from iPad to iPad? Have you ever like gone to a guest spot somewhere?
Oh, yeah, and you
then
share all the brushes.
Share all the shit.
Look, let me
Yeah.
grab that.
I kind of at the
Or the
beginning I
books.
was like super anti that, and now I'm kind of like glad that that's happening.
But you know, I actually was talking about I was talking to a buddy of mine about that the other day because, like, I'm like, well, that's kind of fucked up because you're kind of like stealing stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you remember like Napster?
Yeah.
That was that's like the
And
same
also,
idea.
like-
We're like, oh, you can't steal from the artist. I remember I was like so mad at Metallica I'm like, that's fucked up. Why don't they want people to share the music? Now I'm realizing it's because they were stealing.
It's like I worked really hard on that.
Yeah,
Everybody's
you know,
just passing it
and
around.
everyone's just doing that. But what we've been doing is like sharing some like reference books. Like,
Yeah.
last time I was hanging out with Chase. Like, it's just like an old like
Mm-hmm.
cherub book and stuff. So, I think it has a lot of benefits. But at the end of the day, too, most of the stuff you can find on the internet anyway.
Yeah.
So like,
I was really stoked. He sent me a whole book of just horses. It was just a whole book of horses.
and he didn't send me that book.
I can
My
give it to you.
shop is
I
called
have it.
Lucky Horse,
I know.
and he
I
didn't
got
even
it.
think to give me that.
I got a whole
Goddamn.
book of horses.
And now he has no excuse to not draw me a horse
Yeah,
thing.
right?
So
Yeah, he should. He has all the reference in the world of horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bastard.
That's funny.
He calls me a friend.
He's such a funny dude. He like the first time I met him, he guest spotted with us at Electric Gold, and I paid for his like daily booth rent for that day. Like just before he got there, I was like, Ariel, here's some money. Don't ask Chase for anything. He's like, all right, cool. Chase like tattooed all day long. I tattooed all day long. We made a grip of money doing a flash day. And he's like, holding all of his money. He's like, so what do I owe you? I'm like, nothing, dude. Fuck off. That's what you owe me. Like, I'm glad that you came all the way up here and hung out with us. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm really glad that I'm starting to find myself in that circle of tattooers that are like, yeah, just come hang out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want any money. Just come make a tattoo or hang out.
Because like, and I'm not saying it's like shitty for like shop owners to want to like make some money from situations, but like in general, like that's the one cool thing about our career is that we can hang out with each other. Like we all go to work and we're having fun working, but we're also hanging out, and it's not like, it shouldn't be like a 24/7 money hungry, greedy situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I completely agree.
And especially, so like most of the time when my buddies come through, it's like, yeah, I'm not like charging them to come do a
$100
guest spot.
Throw
Yeah.
me $100
Because also too, you never really know if they're going to like book up. Like times are always so weird, and like none of us know how to use the internet well enough and like do the advertisements or get the name out there. I will admit I am so bad at promoting people. I'm trying to do better.
I feel like the
But-
only way I got this far is from doing that. I
Yeah.
just did it. I did it so much that it ended up working. Like I just kept throwing money at Instagram over and over and over and over again until it eventually reached the proper target audience.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
I don't even know how to buy an ad.
I can show you.
Yeah,
It's
I might
fucking
need your
super
help on
easy.
that one.
It's
I figured
super,
it was
super
easy enough, and I'm like, do you just like pick a picture
pick a
and like,
picture.
and you're like,
So-
that's the
so you
ad?
find the
Do
one
I have to
that,
put
like-
like font on it? And we already know I'm not good at lettering, so I don't know how that's gonna go.
We can get like some clip art and put it on.
Okay,
like
yeah. I'm
the
hoping to do
arched-
like paint.
Yeah,
Do
paint.
you remember
Yeah,
that? You
yep,
know, and it's like
mhm.
the rainbow one.
We can do.
3D.
You can even get crazy and put a gradient on it too.
I don't even know if I can handle that.
Yeah,
It's too much.
But no, you just pick one and you just boost it. I guess that's what I do. I don't know. Yeah, Nick. I look to Nick for like advice on that topic, and he has nothing for me.
Nope, none.
Nick's like, I don't even internet, dog. That's
Yeah.
it.
No,
and,
so
like,
I'm
again,
so anti.
It's a
social
free
media.
tool, so I need to be better at it. And honestly, like, so at this point, like the kiddos that work at my shop, part of it is like I need to stop caring about like my time. I don't have any, but if I had time, I need to make sure they eat.
Yes.
You know, so I'm trying not to do it as like an aspect of me, like, and I'm not saying this in like a shitty like ego way. I do have my clients, you know, I've worked really hard, you know, so I have to stop going like, oh, it's really time consuming because I want to make sure my coworkers do well.
Yeah, and the more business that you drive in, you know, your Instagram's good. like you post and people see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Rock
like
solid as this.
that also in turn will bring more people to, like, I'm sure that a lot of people come to your shop and end up getting tattooed by other people that found your shop through you.
Yeah, and it's really cool too because like we're trying to do better with the Lucky Horse Instagram and making sure our guest artist makes some money.
Yeah.
We're
And
trying
I
really
feel
hard.
like that creates a whole nother aspect of your job where like you're now responsible for Heather Law and now you're
Other
responsible
mouth.
for Lucky
Yeah.
Horse. And,
And
then
then
you're
I'm
also
also
responsible
responsible
for the
for-
people.
And Forever Tattoo.
And Forever Tattoo.
And, you know, all this other stuff. Like I'm trying.
Yeah. Well,
to
it seems
juggle
like it's
everything.
it's a balancing act and you figure out how to make it work.
It's all a
Do you just
struggle.
like, we asked Skylar about it and he has like a really healthy way of balancing his life, but do you just go about it like unhinged as fuck, just figuring
Panic
it out?
every day. Every day, anxiety,
Bring it.
stress.
Figure it out,
you know,
you know?
Fuck it.
it's all on me. I just gotta
Cross that
I just gotta
bridge
do
when I
it.
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I keep just doing this. I'm like, well, I still gotta. I'm still young, right? Young enough. Even though, like, some days I'm like, oh, I can't get out of this bed. This sucks so bad. But I'm trying. But it's the social media part is like a full-time job in itself.
It is.
And then, for the month of February, I have never done this in my entire career. I'm doing Flash February because I wanted just one whole month of not having homework because my entire
you.
career is giant custom things.
You know, not to
for
big
you.
up Julio too much, but he's doing that like walk-in Saturday thing.
Yeah.
And I want to do like that is just so tight
I like
because
the
he's
idea of
training
it.
all of his clients to come in on
Saturdays
Saturday
is
and get a
super
fucking
rad
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Like that's really wise. I mean, you know what I mean? I always wanted to do bigger stuff and now that's like actually what I'm doing and stuff and now I miss walk-ins and
Yeah.
like flash jammers and stuff more than anything. I'm like damn man.
Well, and
Wish this dude doesn't even show up, man. I'll take walk-ins and stuff. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I miss that, you know?
Well, and like I spent a lot of money on Flash supporting my friends. I want to make my money back.
I want to do it.
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like I bought this shit. I want to do it. Can I please do this?
Yeah,
You know,
right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just want like
Yeah.
a month, the shortest month.
Yeah.
You know, I asked for the shortest month to like just do Flash. I want my clients to come in, pick shit off the walls. I'm supposed to have a line drawing book.
Give me
Yeah.
some rad. Yeah.
I'll keep working on that.
And then you need to make the line drawing book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to do anything except for I'm going to do like a Valentine's Day Flash thing because like I need a guarantee like a day of like
Yes.
make some good
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to do
wise.
Flash because I feel like I've had like homework for like 17 years. Every day after work, I can't be a normal person. I have to go home. I have
sure.
to, you know, do like at least one stupid chore around the house. I typically work like 6-7 days a week. I'm like an actual crazy person. Like at one point, like I remember when Mark put me on booth rent so I could have like more freedoms and work less.
You worked more probably.
I worked way more. I worked 3 months straight. And I was like losing my mind. And Mark had to like grab me and sit me down. He's like, dude, what are you doing? And
Chill
I'm
the
like,
fuck
well,
out.
all the people want to get in and then I have to do these things. And he's like, you don't have to do any of that. The whole
Yeah.
part of this was so you could like chill out a little bit, not make yourself have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
But I have like this terrible thing that I'm working on breaking it. I'm working on it. Like the people pleasing thing. And I feel super guilty and I've got to get all my clients in and like they're all waiting and then they all guilt trip me. Like even when I made the post that I'm only doing Flash in February, I get about like 50 DMs of people going, oh man, really? I have to wait another month. This month is my birthday and I wanted my dog portrait. And
Yeah,
like,
of
you know,
course.
I'm like,
Yeah,
damn it.
yeah.
And then I had to stop reading them
Yeah,
because it was
just-
making me feel
I'm
really
done.
bad.
Hey,
Yeah.
why are you messaging me and not walking into the shop
Oh,
like I
yeah.
asked you to do?
Everyone-
Yeah.
Dude, I've been anti social media for a few years now, you know. Just everybody's always just trying to influence it and push you to, you know, think or feel a certain way or you know, maybe how they feel or something like that. I'd say maybe originally started political. I was just like, stop, man. I literally just stopped. You know,
And there's
what I
like
mean?
lots of feelings involved.
There
and,
is.
Like,
There's so
honestly,
much.
and over the years too, seeing my friends having to like make a post saying, "Hey, I will be off the internet for a little bit because I can't. I like
feels
so I
great.
feel bad that a lot of my friends are having mental breakdowns, but like it's crazy. So I have
I'm
like
not the only one.
Yeah. So like I'll have like
Right,
I'll have
yeah.
a friend that's like being super supportive, and then I'll have like another friend DM me going like, "Stop being a whiny bitch and get back to work."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." And then
Yeah,
you know,
touche.
and my friend Erin O'Day, she owns a shop, Cross Keys in Fort Lauderdale. And she's like the social media queen. Like, she knows how to do all this stuff. She knows how to like market everything. And every day she's like, "You're not making those reels." I'm like, "Sure not, bud."
Sure
They're
not.
masterminds.
She
They're
gets so mad at
masterminds.
me.
They're
But
wizards.
it all also comes from a place, like, she is like become one of my best friends. Like, we are so tight now. But she only pushes me because she just wants everyone in her life to do the best they can.
Yeah.
But
sure.
I'm just not good at that stuff, and I keep trying.
Well, I
but
think you
It's
should always double
difficult.
down on your strengths too, like
Yeah.
the things that you're good at
I
are the
just want
things
to
that
do
you
the
should
tattoo
do.
part.
Yeah, just do the tattoos. I mean, you're doing a
Yeah.
good job at that, so just keep doing that.
I just want to do that part.
And honestly, like if you like because you're staying in 2 places now, which is probably a little bit of
So
a damper
bummer.
on
Such a
your
bummer.
on
Yeah.
your schedule, but like if you
well,
do
technically, I'm now at one place because I lost the other place.
well, okay, yeah, you're right.
So
You're
now,
right.
for a minute,
Completely
I'm just.
gone? I saw the
yeah,
post.
Yeah.
It flooded. The house
Did it
is
get really
no
fucked?
shit.
Yeah, I had to
Okay.
throw my shit away.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
the house
that
is gone.
sucks.
So that was a huge bummer. So now I only live in one place.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so then you can just double down and build a clientele in Orlando
Yeah.
and continue to do
And
that.
then have all my clients in Cape Coral.
Drive to Orlando.
Oof.
Why aren't you driving to Orlando? to get
They
tattooed?
won't. I don't know.
Sarasota,
Everyone.
way
Why will you not
closer
drive to
Clark
Orlando?
County.
You know? Why won't they do it?
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
I
know.
completely understand that. And I feel like at a certain point you're like battling your situation on where you're living. It's like
Mm-hmm.
how can I stay consistently busy if I'm going between 2 places?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know? And
Yeah.
honestly, this has actually been kind of funny too. When I started doing this, I had like a lot of different friends from all over go, "Man, what you're doing is like super crazy. But I think I'm going to do it. If you can do it, I can do it." I go, "No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
No,
It's
it's not.
fucking
It's a really
horrible.
bad idea. Like, I don't recommend it at all."
Yeah, we were talking right before we started
don't.
this, and you're like,
I don't
"Why?
either.
Why did you start doing?" I was like, "I don't like." Honestly, at the beginning, it sounded like a really cool idea,
Yeah.
and it wasn't going to be a whole lot of work. And then I sat down at my computer, and I had to transfer 40 gigabytes of video to my computer, and that alone takes 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, cool! So now I just got to sit here on my hands and wait for my computer to load all of this video, and then I have to cut it all up." Like,
Yeah, why would you do that to yourself?
yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of fun though when it's done. When it's finished, it's like tattooing, man.
Yeah.
It's hard
Super
it's
satisfying.
hard at the beginning, and then it gets a little bit gradually easier, and then you're enjoying
I
yourself.
don't do anything, just so everyone knows. Robbie
I love that
just
for you.
shows
You're an
me to, like-
inspiration.
Nick.
He's just like, "Hey man, be here at 8:00." I'm
He's
like,
like-
"Yeah, whatever. I'm here. I'll talk about. I'll
Nick
talk
is the Miley
tattoos all day."
Cyrus
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
of this. Yeah.
I like
I had
that.
such a shitty like upbringing of like tattooing and stuff like that, and you know, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we tried to.
I
The
earned-
initial
I work
idea.
for where I'm at. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
The initial idea was for Nick to not have to work really hard because I knew that if Nick started doing techie shit, it was going to be fucked. Like,
Yeah.
no
Dude,
offense.
that's
Nick.
where my
No,
eyeball
it would
starts
just like
shaking.
it would just make more work for you.
Yeah, yeah,
You
because
know?
like Nick would be like, "Yeah, dude, check out this audio. It sounds
Let's
great."
be here
and
at
it's
8:00.
just fucked.
Like, all right, I can do that.
Yeah, so it's just been a lot easier to 8:00 on Wednesday. We
I can
fucking
talk
start
tattoo
doing this
stuff.
shit, and that's it.
Just do it yourself.
And
Why'd
crush
you
the
hit my
crush
fucking-
the mic.
Why'd you
dude.
hit my
do that.
microphone?
You do that every episode. It's great. Nick just Hadoukens the cheap.
Yeah,
mics.
if you notice how tightly
smart.
I've been
You're
been
smart.
holding my
Yeah,
hands.
you're
like this.
pretty.
I am not going to touch that water cup because like
quite impressive.
as an adult, the
Let me
amount of
just be
times that I have
honest.
choked on water because like I don't know how to drink water is incredible.
I
So
can't figure it out.
I have
This
been
morning.
death gripping my own hands
Yeah.
this whole time. I also realized like when I was younger that I do like weird like nervous things that I don't realize. Like I'll start like itching my neck and I'm like,
Yeah.
why? That's weird.
The-
So I'm trying to control any kind of weird
Yeah.
nervous tick.
You're doing great. You're just gonna sit like this.
I'm gonna
all-
sit.
I'm
Yeah,
having
I
such a
just
good
started
time.
This is
I'm
great.
not.
grabbing my
I'm
Don't I
not
look
being held
comfortable?
hostage.
I'm so
having a
comfortable
good-
right now.
I
Well, it's
feel
funny too.
great.
Scratch my knees,
Yeah,
man.
when
My knees
Chase
aren't
left,
even itchy, but it
Yeah.
feels good.
He's like, "Are
when
you
I do
okay?
this."
Do you feel okay?" And I'm like, being in a tattoo shop does not make me nervous at
No.
all. And he's like, "Well,
Yeah.
you don't know any of these guys." I'm like, "It doesn't matter."
Yeah.
Like, you
I'll
know,
be okay.
I'm fine. That none of that bothers me. I go, what
Yeah, she'll
bothers
beat us
me
all
is
to
all
death.
Is
the
all this-
cameras.
let's
And
be
like
realistic.
the minute a microphone is in front of me, I'm like,
Yeah, right.
You know, I don't know how to do this. Like at our anniversary party, like everyone started screaming speech, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
And like,
Not
yeah,
me, no.
and then
You gotta
Mark
go-
is like,
you gotta go
hell yeah,
home.
let's
I
all get on the
wasn't
stage.
prepared.
And then Mark forgets that he nervous rambles. So like his speech was like 30 minutes long, and I had to get the microphone from him. And I go, all the
Rambling
things that
man.
he said, and also thank you guys. And
Yeah.
like, that's the only
Took
time
the
I've
words
actually
right out
nailed
of
it.
my mouth.
Yeah, you know, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, we did like 3 practice episodes, and then we just were like fuck it, put it on the
11.
internet.
And again, that's already
Yeah.
your job. You're going to add it all together and make it
Yeah.
like sound good.
Yeah.
So
It was
you
a
know.
it was a lot of like we kept doing the E's, Ah's, O's, and like all the things you're not supposed to do on a podcast,
Nick,
and we were
shut
just
up.
doing all of it. And we
You're
were just
too
like,
close. Stop
like,
sliding.
I didn't even know
away.
there was rules.
I mean, it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
it's just
no,
more
there
like
is.
as a listener, like
Okay.
the things that people want to hear.
What
But
do they want to hear?
I don't know, honestly.
Did you ever do like a question thing?
We should have, but
You
I haven't
should
done
do that.
anything. Yeah.
So that was also an option.
Yeah.
That's a future thing.
We also
more or
figured
less.
out how to take phone calls, but I don't trust anybody to call us. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
also wanted to post something.
I don't trust it.
Yeah.
wanted
I don't
to
trust
post
it. They're gonna, like-
something like if anybody had any specific questions for Heather.
Yeah.
For their, or anybody really.
I think the biggest issue is
Just only me.
we record it. Yeah, just
me.
Heather.
I like
Just
honestly.
Heather. What
yeah.
do you want to
yeah.
ask Heather
Yeah.
specifically?
This is also the last episode of the podcast
Yeah,
because we
so-
got Heather to do it, and we're
And
done now.
now we're
This
just
is the
done.
pinnacle of what we
Yeah,
wanted
you're
to
not
do.
going to get any higher than this.
This is it. This is
this
the
nervous
top.
weirdo, you know?
Nick,
the
I got
top.
teeth. Fuck 'em.
Oh Christ! But no, we've like relished in the idea that we don't know what we're doing, and I think that because we don't know what we're doing, it's getting more attention.
We tattoo for a living.
Yeah,
Give
because
me a
it's like
break.
people can instantly relate to I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're uncomfortable.
Kyle sleeping?
Yeah, right?
He's asleep. Are you asleep?
He just got his neck tattooed. He's not having a good time. And also what's great is it's every single Wednesday, Kyle comes in and gets tattooed by Nick.
single
Every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday.
52 Wednesdays a year.
Nice.
Kyle comes in and gets tattooed.
Nice.
And
Super
every single time
cool.
he just sits like off to the side, and then on his one episode he like got his like stomach tattooed, and then like did a podcast
Like,
episode with us, and just was having a terrible time the whole time.
Yeah, like anytime. So when I got tattooed on Monday,
Yeah.
I set up an appointment right after.
Oh,
Why?
fucked.
Why would I do that?
fucked.
I have control
Yeah.
over my own life, and I'm like, I'm gonna make everything hard every day.
Yep.
So I like get off the table, I hobble over, I'm like, can I put Tegaderm on it? Everyone started screaming at me about the Tegaderm. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna do it.
whatever you want.
And they're like, just why can't you be normal? And I'm
Yeah.
like, because I can't. I'm gonna put on pants.
Why
and my
can't you
client-
wrap it for 72 hours
Yeah.
or whatever? Like,
and then my client is like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I feel sick. Sit down. Let's do this."
I was
And
sick when I got here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate getting tattooed. It's the
It's
fucking
actually the
worst.
Just so everyone knows, as soon as she walked in, we were walking over, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, give me a hand up." Like my knee ditch was tattooed. And
Yeah.
She
I keep like
literally
hobbling around. I
hobbled.
think people think I have like a peg leg or a wooden leg or something because I keep
That's
like
the
hobbling
coolest-
every time I get up. You
Oh
know,
man,
I have both my legs.
yeah.
In case anyone wanted to know, I have both.
One-legged tattooer.
And
Some of
I'm
the
not
worst.
against people who don't have
Yeah.
both legs.
We're
I
being
just,
as PC as possible
you know,
tonight.
for sure.
Yes.
I like that was my biggest fear too. I'm like, what if I do one thing and they edit it together where I sound like shitty or
We're going
mean,
to take the
and-
whole podcast and just get your inhales the whole
Yeah,
time.
the
So
whole
it's going to be an hour of your like
Please
they
do.
did the Macho
Please
Man
do.
Randy
That's
Savage.
Yeah,
movie.
oh,
That's what we're going to do. Yeah.
And I'm like, what if this was like a giant,
dude.
cruel joke,
Yeah.
just to like somehow like I didn't know deep
Oh
like deep
my
down
God.
you guys all hate me
Yeah.
and like this
That-
was
that would
like
never
all
happen.
fake.
She's
you
on
know?
to us, guys.
Yeah.
She's
I
on
mean,
to
there
us.
are
See,
moments
I-
of my life where I'm like, I have to be on television. There's like no way this can't
Truman
be real
Show
life.
heavy,
Yeah, like
yeah.
seriously,
Oh,
like
no,
the Truman
yeah.
Show situation.
I
Yeah.
feel that way as well, though, man. But I speak for everyone in the shop, man. We're all tremendous fucking big fans of
Yeah.
your work, and
Yeah, we were writing down like a list of people we wanted to ask to be on the podcast, and I was like, Heather, she's far as
like,
fuck,
dude, she's
and,
so
like,
sweet.
We
but her
started,
tattoos are tough as fucking nails.
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
like
I
it's
appreciate
nerve
that.
wracking.
and we were one episode in, and we had not done this. I was like, I'm not gonna message her and be like, hey, do you want to be on our podcast that 10 people follow? Like, are you sure?
Honestly, I just thought I was meeting a quota, so you at least had like one girl on here.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
figured.
what we're doing. It's
Yeah, I figured that also
You're
might have been
you're
the other thing.
one and only girl.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm the
second
only
one-
girl,
Yeah.
so they're
Yeah.
just making sure they're like gonna meet.
We were
all
trying
the-
to find the toughest girl, and you were.
Yeah.
It was between you and Xena Warrior Princess. And we were
Okay,
able to
cool.
get
So I'm
you.
glad I made the cut.
She was unavailable.
Yes, she was
Yeah,
unavailable.
I
tonight.
figured also that, and I was probably cheaper at this
How do you-
point, you know?
cheaper.
We pay $0.
Yeah,
$0.
we're in a lot of
I was
debt.
free. I was free. I'll
Oh,
admit
man.
it.
Yeah, she just came
You
here
know?
and did it
Which
without
is
needing any money.
Tremendous
Actually,
Like-
I spent money. Technically,
You did,
I
yeah.
spent
You did,
gas
yeah,
money.
you're
So I
spending
paid
minutes.
you to be here.
Technically,
Yeah.
we paid the Chevron that you stopped
whatever
at.
Yeah.
fucking reason.
Yeah.
Wawa. I
Wawa.
went with Wawa.
Dude, I love Wawa.
I know.
It's one of the things
They have everything.
Yep. Being
know?
in California, I was
Besides,
like,
like,
fuck,
Buc-ee's.
where's Wawa?
If you've been to
Buc-ee's
Buc-ee's,
is
that's
great.
obviously the number one.
Whenever I go on a road trip, I always stop at Love's. I like the Love's gas
I like
stations.
Love's.
That's my spot.
It's
dude.
I feel safe there. You
Yeah.
know, like comforted.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
feel I know what I'm getting.
I
into.
feel safe sleeping in a Love's parking lot.
Yeah, same.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just makes me feel like I'm in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I feel like I might
Virginia.
also just like I should be sponsored by all these people, like Buc-ee's. If you're listening,
If you're listening.
you know, I travel
We just
all
want
over the U.S.
the
My dog, his name is Bucky.
what is the
so-
peanut
Oh,
brittle that
shit.
they have there or something? They
Fucking
have
LASIK.
like the
I don't
one
know,
thing that they
everything-
do. Like,
Yeah. Well, I
forget
know
what
that
it
they
is.
have beaver nuggets, and holy fuck, I'm not gonna
Beaver
have
nuggets.
Yeah, have you ever
Proper
had those?
beaver nuggets?
Yeah, they're just called beaver nuggets. I don't know. They have like
Is it
it's like
chicken?
cereal.
Or
No,
is- oh,
it's like
okay.
cereal. I don't know. I'm not gonna have any teeth
I
by
had-
the time I get done
I
eating
just
all
had a
those
full
fucking
blown
things.
meltdown about the fact that
Not
they
what I was
sell beaver.
expecting when
No,
you said it.
no, not
but
beaver nuggets. Like actual made out of beaver. No.
Where I get
No.
these beavers.
Fuck,
I-
man.
Aren't beavers protected? I don't know.
I'm
are
sure
they?
they are at this
you know?
point. Yeah. But fuck,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie, I was thinking otter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Otter
As you
nuggets,
said it,
dude.
you know?
Yeah.
Because
Where
we don't
are
have
the
beavers in Florida,
I
so
tattooed
we
for
immediately
a
go with
while.
Otters,
otters.
yeah. I
Unless
have
we do have
otters.
beavers, but I don't think we do.
Listen, I just saw the first otter in my life. It was in my fucking backyard. This thing was flipping and flopping and dancing and hip hopping and bebopping.
Really?
Man. It was insane.
Honestly, I'm so
my
excited
wife-
for you.
My
Yeah.
wife, she recorded it.
Yeah.
Was like, "Shut up, you're a liar."
Yeah.
You're a liar.
And she
Let me see
sent
that
it the
video.
She's like, "Oh, really, motherfucker?" I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck me."
So my whole life, I've wanted to see an otter, like out in the wild doing its
Yeah.
thing.
They're not
I've
friendly.
never seen them ever. I've gone to all the nature preserves. Everyone's like, dude, they're everywhere. I'm like, I have never seen one. And then I saw a dead one on the side of the road. I was like, God damn
that's
it,
shitty. That's
you know.
shitty.
And
That's
I was
shitty.
like, that's not what I wanted. And
isn't
somebody's
what I
like, well,
asked for.
you saw it, and I go, it's not the same.
Oh,
That's
man.
not what I
Wild.
wanted.
It was
Did
wild.
you get out and take a picture with it?
No.
You should have done
I
the
was so
thing.
bummed.
You should have done the thing where I saw this picture on the internet where it was like a deer that got hit by a
Oh
car.
yeah, and it says get
and
well
they did
soon.
the get well soon
no,
balloon.
Dude, I
Yeah,
love
that's
that
what
one.
you should have done.
And again,
shitty.
when I say actively trying, like there's like so many nature preserves down south, and like I go to during the season, the otter season, and I just go and I sit. I'm like, one day I'm gonna see a goddamn otter.
Yeah.
Nope, not a single one time
Dude, they're
in
wild.
my
They're
entire
fast.
life.
Did you guys like down at Forever get a bunch of like beachy people come in and
Oh,
stuff?
yeah, for sure. Of
Yeah,
course.
Yeah,
that's got to be
We're-
crazy.
But like,
You guys got tons of birds down there.
So many
too,
birds.
So many birds.
Bird
yeah.
Central, dude.
yeah, we love birds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
birds.
love birds.
Yeah,
I haven't
wish my mom was
spent
birds.
any money down or any time down that way. I've wanted
You
to
spent
go-
money. You went to
I
Nice
sp-
Guys.
I've-
That's money.
You would if you
I
had
did.
the
I did.
money.
I spent
But
money
Nice
in
Guys
Fort
is really
Myers.
good.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I like I like that they have all those pinball machines in there.
Yeah,
I like,
they've
I
gotten
love
more.
Pinball.
You,
oh, really?
you haven't. You no,
It's
you
been
haven't.
a long time.
Yeah, they've moved to a new building.
Oh.
And they've got 2 sides now. It's fucking huge.
Wow.
And they've got like 20 pinball
You can
or
be
more.
honest, or actually, we'll talk about it off the air because usually when things get big, they suck. I'm sure is it still as righteous as it
No,
was?
it's awesome.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I say like bigger, they're just more space for you to like move around.
Okay, so it's all the same shit. It's
Same stuff.
Nothing new. Yeah.
Same stuff.
That's rad. That place is awesome. And they do shows and stuff there.
Yeah.
But this is just the Nice Guys Pizza podcast now. We're just
Yeah.
going to talk about them.
Yeah, I'll make
For the
sure I
rest-
tag them in this and, just edit that whole
Oh,
part.
man. Yeah.
No, what was the sandwich place that you guys got? This is incredible.
Dude,
chicken
whatever
parm.
sandwich we
Like,
got today,
we
I
need
even-
that. That's
From
the
here?
sponsorship
from
we
here,
need.
Okay.
we got these sandwiches.
You guys should do that and just like have the sandwiches
We should.
on display and
Oh,
eat
man.
them
Oh, my
while, and
God.
every guest gets
Dude,
to
we
have
should
a
do Tony's
sandwich.
Chicago beef, dude. Get some hot dogs
Oh,
up in here,
Tony would
dude.
be
That'd be
into
sick.
that,
They'd be into that
probably
because they're right
not
around the
at
corner.
all.
That'd
yeah.
be cool. We
And
should do
each
that.
like so you could feed the
He
guests.
hates
Yeah.
that.
And also you can make it way more embarrassing, like when they're trying to eat and
Eat
like and making
podcast.
it yeah,
Oh,
and
that'd be
chewing.
great.
People
yeah, we
love
should totally
chewing.
do that. Yeah,
was
that
that place
sandwich was so good earlier. I followed them on Instagram.
Did you?
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah.
I did that with a pizza place
Yeah.
in Orlando the
Yeah.
other day.
I was so good. I was like, I'm following these motherfuckers on Instagram, dude.
Just
I
in,
wanna
just
find
in
out.
case.
I want to
And if
find
there's
out if they
anything
do a deal.
news,
Yeah,
yeah,
If they-
with your sandwiches.
If they drop any new news on that chicken parm that I had
So
earlier.
coming from down south, how do you feel about living a little further north, Orlando? Orlando's rough.
There is no balance to Orlando.
Yeah.
None.
No,
It's unhinged.
nothing.
No,
Yeah.
it is
Orlando's
chaos.
Yeah, I was.
And the
specific.
reason, like, it is a international hub, right? So
Totally.
people from all over the world go to that location, which is awesome because there's people there all the time.
For sure.
But people who live there are mad, and people
They're
are
just angry every day.
And people, it's almost like living in like a New York City kind of situation where like
Entirely.
everyone's pissed off at the tourists and like.
It is
Especially with the driving,
entirely.
it is
Yeah.
insanity. And so people are either going 0, or they're like in a median, or not a median, but like an intersection just stopped.
Yeah.
or people are going 85 in a neighborhood and everyone's mad.
Yep.
And so it's stressful. Also, there is 0 parking in Orlando, and I don't understand why. Why?
And meters for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
For,
apparently, no one was going to have cars in
money.
Orlando at any point in
Dude,
time.
I was blown away going from Los Angeles to Sarasota, and like I go to downtown to go to Chase's shop, and I have to pay for parking. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Yeah.
Sarasota.
I showed
Yeah.
up for his grand opening and stuff. It's
And we
like,
paid
man, fuck this,
$5 to
man.
park
It's
for the
like
day. It's like,
12
dude,
bucks.
it's Sarasota downtown. Like, you're fucking tripping. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
Me.
But so do you go to any of the cool theme parks that are out there? Because I would totally go to Disney World all the
Are
time.
you asking me if I'm a Disney adult?
Are you a Disney adult?
No, I'm not.
Okay. good.
But I am supportive of people enjoying Disney
Yes.
and the parks. I love that people love that.
we don't want to offend any Disney adults.
Yeah,
on the
I
podcast.
also am not going to be canceled by Disney adults. Also,
Yes.
my other best friend, Erin O'Day, she really loves the shit out of
Yeah.
Disney. Also, Shannon, there's this dude, Shannon, and he is now going to be working at my shop. Like every single month, he'll be doing a weekend.
Oh, nice.
And he just like only does Disney tattoos. So
Oh, that's cool.
we love Disney.
Yeah, Disney's
and
rad.
Disney adults. We love them. I've gone to the parks a couple times. This might get me canceled. I don't know. I'm just not like I've never really been around children a ton. So like
They're
I
not
just, there's so many of them
Yeah.
and I'm like, and it's hot.
Edit that.
And I'm like any other vampire tattooer. I don't see the sun.
I don't like going outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, when I did go to Disney, they have
Yeah.
like this thing like only certain times a year. It's like the after hours Disney.
That
was dope.
I've done that before.
That was so
That
much
sounds
fun.
super cool.
Yeah,
I've
it's super
never
cool.
heard of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
A lot of
it
people
was news
bring
to
their
me.
fucking kids though to that and
Yeah.
ruin the whole thing.
People
Well,
They
Aaron
don't
and
give up
Shannon are the ones that told me. They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, we got something for you," and
Yeah.
they're like, "Nighttime," and I'm like, "Awesome,
Nighttime
tell
Disney.
me more." And then so the last time we went, we like did every ride like 20 times. The longest wait was 20
That's super
minutes.
rad.
That's
Yeah.
super cool.
Super
It was
I
awesome.
like that.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like giving away Disney secrets or something, but it is dope.
I
Gatekeep
don't know.
the
You
Disney.
might-
Yeah, like there was one point like me and Erin, like we are each other's like stress relieving like partner at this
Mm-hmm.
point. So like if she's going through something or I'm going through something, we meet up. And the last time when we went to Disney, she was going through something, and we ended up just sitting on the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Just staying
For,
on it.
there was nobody. There
Love
was like
that.
4 boats in front of us, 5 boats behind us. No one was around.
You guys just
it was
stayed
great.
on it the whole time.
Yeah.
That's rad.
It's just 80 pictures of me and Aaron like sad on the Pirates of
aggressively,
the Caribbean.
aggressively getting
Yeah.
more bored.
Yeah, yeah. But we
love
ran
that.
that fucker like
I'm
20
locked in.
times.
Get
Yeah,
out of here.
Locked in.
but yeah,
This
I
is
do.
my seat.
I do like Universal. Universal's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't buy any of the. I don't take time off.
Do that either.
Yeah.
I don't know how to have fun. If that like I'm just gonna go ahead and say
Yeah.
that. I don't
Yeah.
know what
I'm
fun is.
Pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I'm good at trying to break away from tattooing. Like recently, I've been trying to like
It's
actually
hard.
take my Sundays and enjoy myself.
It's too
I've,
hard.
I've been trying, and it's been working. Honestly, the last
Oh.
last
It's hard
Sunday,
in
I
the
literally
earlier
laid on the
days.
couch and did nothing, and it was awesome.
Feels
I haven't
great.
done that in so long.
Yeah.
It was great to just sit there. And
Like my
but
blank face is like it's like the I don't even know what that's like.
Yeah. And when I was done though, I felt
Many,
like the
many
biggest
moons
piece of
ago.
shit.
Yeah,
I was
it's like that guilt all
Yeah.
the time. Mark Stewart used to call me a slacker all the time. So now it's just like it's always in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, if I'm not doing something, I'm being a fucking
Yep.
slacker.
Yep.
And
I ain't no fucking
so
slacker. Yeah.
I would say I'm really bad at taking days off. I don't know what fun is. So I've traveled, I don't want to say like all over the world, but I've gone to other places and I've traveled all over the US and everyone's like, oh, you went to Portland. What did you see? I'm like Thunderbird.
I saw the
and
tattoo shop,
I
and that
saw
was
Pink
it, yeah.
Panther. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Did you do anything else? I'm like, no. They're like, I went to Vegas. They're like, what'd you do? I was like, I was at downtown. That shop's so cool. And then I went to the other downtown. That was also cool.
Right,
I want to get
And
tattooed
people
there
are
real
like, do you
bad.
do?
No money down?
Yeah. And no.
You didn't gamble at all?
shit.
No.
God
I-
damn.
All right.
Bless you.
Yeah, I am boring, and I am not a risk
That's
taker.
all right, yeah,
I'm not a
yeah.
risk. Like the minute I could lose $20, I'm like, no, this game is not
I've had
fun.
enough.
God
This
bless
is
you. I
rigged.
wish I had more
Yeah.
of that in me personally.
So I guess I'm kind of lying a little bit. I played threes, and so I know everyone likes CeeLo,
yeah.
and I've played CeeLo, but I like
not
the
getting
game.
Fair
I've
enough,
never
yeah.
won a game of threes, so I won't ever play it.
Okay.
I won't. If people
Threes
are
is-
like,
threes
I want
is
to play
rough.
threes,
I like threes.
I'm like,
I
nope.
do like
Yeah,
I'll play
threes.
CeeLo
well, because I
only.
feel like threes, there's like a little bit of a you have to make choices, which could
100%.
potentially
Yes.
fuck you. Which is why I like
Pick
it a
and
little bit
choose.
better than CeeLo, because CeeLo is just like.
Yep,
You
it's
know,
just mindless
all
luck.
in.
Right.
Yeah, like
But
That's it.
so like example, if we were playing right now,
Right.
at this point, if you're like, you know what, I'm gonna take this 3, it's like I could
That's
ruin
super
you.
respectable.
You know?
It's like a game of skill at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, strategy.
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 Yeah.
More
Yeah.
strategy.
Yeah,
Yes.
and like honestly, I for a while down south, like in Cape Coral, a group of guys, they were playing poker. Are you drooling?
Are you drooling, Nick?
I don't know. You drooling?
You don't look like you're
I might
drooling.
be.
You look great. You're
I
doing
think
good.
you're good, man. You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a group of dudes in town, and they were playing poker. It was like poker night. It was a guys' night. And Mark Stewart, I'm his best friend, and I'm a girl. So he's like, "Can I invite Heather?" And they're like, "No, she's a girl." And he's like, "Yeah, but she's more of a dude than any of you." And they're like, "Okay, but does she know how to play poker?" And he's like, "No,
Oh,
but I'm
man.
going to teach her."
Fucking batting a zero on that one.
And then they're like, "You're going to teach her, and she's going to play tonight." He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to teach her
playing
how."
games, yeah.
And I went there that night, and I won. You
crushed it.
And
Fuck
everyone
yeah.
was
That's
pissed.
that's how it
fucking
goes
awesome.
whenever
Yeah.
you play CeeLo for the first
super
time
cool.
too. Like
Yeah,
that's what I've
the
noticed.
beginner
I
like CeeLo,
fucked
yeah.
up and I played my first game of CeeLo and just took $200, like just off the rip.
That also that
And then-
feeling.
Yeah, it was so
And
great.
now you're
but then
forever.
yeah, and then I got a tattoo that says "Lucky" like immediately afterwards.
Yeah, you're
and
like,
then
"Oh, I gotta remember this
I
moment
haven't
forever."
won. I haven't won
Anything
since.
since.
Like I've been. I played with Tim Martin at the Tampa convention, and he took half the money that I made
Nice.
on that Friday.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a fucking idiot and I can't stop.
Yeah.
Like as soon
Well,
as I
and,
started,
like-
I just couldn't stop.
So like, and
was
I have
addicted.
some friends that are like kind of dickheads. Like I love Scott Lucas to death, and like
Yeah.
Scott Lucas, like he saw everyone was playing threes, and we're all being like, like $5-10. Scott Lucas is like, that is pussy shit, and then he throws down 100. I'm like, panic, like immediately,
Yep.
and I was
Yep.
like, I can't do that. And then I definitely did not win.
Yeah.
For sure did not win.
There's
I
nothing
did do
worse
it,
than
but I
winning
didn't.
100 or losing
Losing
$100.
$100.
Ah,
Because my
fuck,
brain
on
goes,
one
I'm
roll.
like,
But
that's like 100 cheeseburgers, so many win, like, yeah. I mean,
That's
you could
my
have.
light bill. That's
Yeah.
half my phone bill.
Somebody
Yeah,
did.
yeah. There's just so many. I'm too responsible for all of
can't do
that,
that.
you know.
Convention stuff, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bad, man. I go and as soon as I cover my convention cost, I blow the rest of it.
This money's
I'm so
nothing.
bad.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah,
I just
you know
throw
what I mean?
money,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
end up buying cool shit. Like I don't buy bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I at least try to buy something cool. the
Yeah,
whole time.
and like supporting other homies.
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
the most
dude.
important.
And
part.
like that's how you end up like getting like lifelong friendships, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
meeting some of these people at conventions. Like a buddy of mine, Sean Kidd, I met him because I was like setting up at a convention, and I had some of my artwork up. And he goes, "Are these for sale?" I'm like, "What? Yeah, I guess, maybe." And I'm like trying to hang up this banner, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm incredibly short,
Yes.
and it was not going great. And I was like
I'm
on
not.
a chair, on a table, trying to like hang this thing. And my dad,
Perfect.
I'm surrounded by tall dudes, and never
No
do
one's
they help
helping,
me.
not
No
once.
one has ever
Yes.
helped me ever, you know. So I'm like trying to do this by myself, and he's like, "So like how much?" And I go, "I don't like. You actually want to
How much
buy
you
them?"
got?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You can just have them." And he's
Yeah.
like, "No." And I'm like, so we get into it. I'm like, I get off the chair, off the table, and I'm like, "Dude, you can just have them. I don't care. That's nice." And now we've been best
That's
friends ever
awesome.
since. You know,
It's so
conventions
hard to,
are
like,
dope.
put a price on like any other like fellow tattooer. Like, fuck it, I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You
I'm-
like
I'm
it
impressed that
free.
You're,
Yeah,
yeah,
take
you're
it.
into it.
Yeah.
You like it. Have it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
That's
really
like-
bad at the business part of everything.
too.
I'm
Me
just
too.
like,
Me
I
too.
don't care about
It's a
money.
tough
Unless you
balance.
see the bright and bold thing, like
Yes.
that post. I'm
Yeah.
obviously a money hungry,
Yes,
greedy
you're the
shopper.
worst.
Yeah.
We've been meaning to bring you on here and just roast you the whole time.
Yeah, I would do
that's
that.
what the
Actually,
place-
just let me do my own
Just
roasting.
roast yourself.
I
actually.
could.
Yeah.
I could spend hours.
Do you feel like though, like in that moment where like you have all these dudes around you and nobody's helping you? Have you've experienced that a bunch?
Yes,
Yeah.
my entire career.
How did you combat that? Like, was that super?
I just
super-
do it.
Just do it.
I
deal
just
with
have
it?
to.
Yeah, just rock.
I
and roll
just
the
have
whole
to.
time.
Mark doesn't like
So my best friends are dope. They are my best
I was
friends.
gonna-
Yeah.
But they see me so much as a dude. Like there's been times that like we're unloading for a convention, and Mark's like, "Oh yeah, Heather's got it," and we'll just start talking to people. And I'm like,
piss off. Like,
"Cool,
oh,
cool,
you know,
man. Awesome.
thanks."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember like
it's so
what-
easy to
yeah.
get like carried away like that. You
Yeah,
know?
and
well,
like
also I feel like you always assume that mentor role of like you're always an apprentice. Like,
Yeah.
Do you still feel like
But
you're always
it's
an
with-
apprentice to Mark?
yes and no, but also everyone treats me like that.
Yeah.
So it's not even just Mark. I remember like at the Philly convention, like, so fun fact, if we were to fold up a massage table, they're like half my body.
Yes.
You know, so like, and I'm strong. You know, I feel like I'm pretty strong. But like when I'm like running across the street with a massage table, and all these like 6-foot dudes could easily carry it, and they have me carry all this shit. I'm just like,
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
so used to doing everything by myself. I just do it. Like I remember one time I was at, I don't even remember what convention, and this girl like, I forgot which tattooer it was, but it was a female tattooer. She has like a rolly Pelican case and like one bag. And she's like, "Can you believe it? I had to carry all this stuff myself." And I just looked right at her and I'm like, we can't I can't relate to you.
Dude,
and I just turned around and I walked
Piss
away.
off, bitch.
I was like,
I'm such a prissy bitch when it comes to conventions. I just go with my machine and my power supply, and I buy everything else.
Yeah,
and then
that's a
I
good
give it
plan.
away at the end.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I
I'm
started
done.
learning over the years, like, because I'm cheap. So, like, most of the time, I'm like, oh, I don't want to pay for stuff. And, like, it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
And then, like, as the years went on, I go, I'm going to Amazon all this shit to the hotel.
Yep.
Or to the convention center.
Going there
Yeah.
with a backpack, dude.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that literally came to do a guest spot and like bought a machine, needles, everything on Amazon.
Yeah.
And like just tattooed with like this $100 pen for the whole weekend and then just fucked off. And that was it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it just, I bet you had like the least stressful convention
Oh yeah, it was
situation
great.
ever.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Again,
I wish I could live my life like that. I just I can't.
and
I'm so like
also I've like somehow become like a mother role to everything. I'm always afraid everyone's gonna forget stuff, so I can't trust them to have it. So then I make sure we have everything.
yeah. It's like, yeah, guys,
You know?
I brought the 3M with me.
Yeah,
I brought the
I brought everything.
Thermofax. I brought
You didn't bring stencil stuff? I got
Don't
it. Don't
worry.
worry.
I got
Yeah,
it.
that color you wanted, like that lavender purple.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got that. Don't worry.
I actually have all of Solid's colors.
Yeah,
Which one do you
actually,
want?
yeah. I bring everything because I can't trust anyone to do it.
Yeah.
Actually, I even do that with guest spots, and I'm gonna be a little sexist here, but I'm so used to going to like a lot of my buddy shops because most of my friends are dudes. And no offense to dudes, but normally they don't have everything.
We suck.
Yeah,
I'm-
you guys
I'm-
don't have anything. And guess
I
what? I
forget
can
my
guarantee you
asshole
in
if
this
Yeah.
shop right
attached.
now, probably not. You guys don't have small gloves.
No.
No,
Oh, wait,
absolutely
no.
not.
Wait.
You're right.
I might.
Maybe? Maybe.
I think there are some in the back.
I'm willing to put.
There might be. I
Yeah,
will
might.
say there are XL
Did-
gloves in the back at least.
XL?
XL.
Okay,
We have
sweet.
XL.
Perfect.
Yeah, of
but
course.
we have medium for all of us. Could you fit in a medium?
No.
You couldn't fit in a medium.
No, they end up being like extra
Really?
fingertips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well-
I have to wear extra small, or like the best I could do is small, and even small gloves are too big.
Too big.
Yeah. So like everywhere I go, I leave a box of gloves because
Yeah.
I know when I come back, they're not going to have any. And
I didn't think so. I got some in my
yeah,
bag.
you know,
I'm
and then
not
like
going to die on that hill. I don't think we
Yeah.
have small gloves in the
no,
back.
I know. I was gonna say I'm willing. Actually, right now I'm willing to put down like at least $15
Yeah.
because that's what I have in my pocket.
Yeah.
That you do not have
we
small gloves.
probably don't.
Nope.
You
No.
know, and then like most shops too, everyone's tall and they like all the supplies are on like the
Yes.
highest shelf ever.
You should see where our paper
And-
towels are.
Yeah,
They're
and
by the ceiling.
I can't reach them. You know, so I know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Nick's also
Have a
4.5
stool
feet tall.
to
So
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, 4.5. You're not lying on your what is it, Tinder?
How tall are you for real though?
5'11" and a half.
Yes,
Ooh,
at the chat
nice.
table.
I'm
At the
not.
chat table,
I'm
he's
not even
5'11"
a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm 5'6".
Yeah, yeah.
But
with his shoes on.
Yeah, and at this point you're still taller than me, so you know, so like, and I'm so
I
used to
have
like,
a stool. It's
yeah,
just for
well,
me.
man.
and I'm so used to like everyone being like, figure it out, stupid, and so like every time I need to do anything, I'm just like, okay, I'll figure it out. So like when I go to shops, I have to make sure I know where the broom is or the Swiffer, so I can like
shit.
knock
Yeah.
the paper towels down, so I can get paper towels,
Hey,
and then
yeah,
I'm
you
never,
crafty.
yeah, I'm not there that much, so they put the gloves also on the tallest thing, so I have to like poke those down.
We're gonna put the larges and extra larges
Large.
on the bottom.
Yeah.
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 Well,
That's
you
what
know,
we need to
for the
do.
short one.
that
Make
makes
sure
so-
she
that makes
really
so
wants
much
to do this
sense.
tattoo.
Yeah.
The person
and give
who's
us
using
money.
the small gloves can definitely reach it at the 7 foot,
Yeah.
7 foot level.
So,
But,
you know.
there's no change in that.
No.
You know what I
No,
mean?
there
Like,
isn't.
naturally,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah, unless like because like you have to realize too, like when I started tattooing, there were female tattooers, but not a ton. So like, also my buddies still not. It's not even a bad thing, but not a lot of females work at a lot of different shops. You
Yeah,
know, I've
fair.
noticed that a lot of female tattooers have a tendency of gravitating towards like other female tattooers and working at female shops,
By
and
all
you know,
means.
Which I think is
Yeah.
rad. Is it
Yeah.
the one that you went to in Portland? Pink Panther is an all girls shop, right? If I remember correctly.
it is not.
There is a Pink Panther that is an all girls
Yes.
shop then.
Yes.
If I remember correctly.
And there are quite a few like all female shops like popping up everywhere, which
Yeah.
is like really dope.
dig it.
But like it also just kind of bums me out that like people have to feel like everything has to be
even
separated.
resort to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was my.
It'd be
But-
even cooler if
Yes.
it was everybody in
Yeah.
one shop. Like,
and no one had to feel weird, and there
Yeah.
didn't have to be any weird. But you know, we're working on it.
It's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
You know, yeah, we're working on
Day
it.
by day.
I think it kind of like attests to having power in your tattoos, like being a gal at that time, and then being like,
gal.
well, fuck
I
you
like that.
guys, like fuck you guys, I can hang with you, Mark Stewart, like
Yeah.
watch me, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that added,
But that's the cool thing about Mark is like at different points people are like, "Why are you apprenticing a girl?" Right? And Mark's
is
like,
such a weird
Yeah,
statement
and
to
Mark
make.
was just like, "Why would I not?
Yeah.
She's my best friend, and she's dope." And like, I remember like one time this dude came into the shop, and it was just me, and he's like, "Hey, can I talk to one of the artists?" I'm like, "Hello, me. What can I help you with?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, is the boss around?" And I'm like, "Nope, just me. Just I'm the only one here."
I remember we had like it was 12-person shop that I apprenticed at. It was a fucking factory. And like there was two girls at the time that
One
when I
girl,
was tattooing.
two heads.
Two.
One. Yep.
No, it was one girl with two heads. No,
No,
it was two
wait.
girls. But dudes would be like, I want a girl to do my tattoo.
That's
and I'm
weird.
like, you're fucking weird as fuck.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
And just being creepy as fuck for no reason. But
Yeah.
I think it'd be great if some dude came in and was like that, and then you just fucking light their world up. Like
well,
just,
and like, but
just
ultimately,
fucking rock their shit,
yeah.
dude.
Well, you know what's like kind of crazy though, like that interaction.
They call me Heather Hammerman.
Yeah, you know, like, well, ultimately, what happened with that dude is like he's like, oh, well, what I want is like a giant like eagle chest piece. I want like really dark. I want it to be really
Definitely not
bold.
me.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, that's what we do here. And he goes, yeah, but like, is there anyone else? I'm like, still just me, sir.
Yeah.
I am still the only one here. I go, you know what? I'm going to make this easier. I'm going to grab our portfolios because this is back in the day when we printed them out, you know? So I'm like, let me show you these. And then I purposely did grab mine
Yeah.
to an eagle that I had done. And he's like, this is exactly what I want.
Okay,
Bold
shut the
lines,
fuck up and
black.
sit down.
He's like,
Yeah.
whose is this? Is this the owner's? I go, also me. He's
Yeah.
like, you did this? And I'm like, who is this guy? Did somebody pay him to
Yeah.
come in here?
Yeah,
Who hurt you, my
Yeah,
dude?
and then he's like,
This is a
"Oh,
joke.
I didn't know you could like do this." I'm like, "Cause I have boobs."
Girls aren't capable of doing
Unbelievable.
eagles.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
you know.
Yeah.
So like, you know, the guy goes, "Oh, well then, cool. Can we do this?" I'm like, "Not right now. I have a client in the back. I go
Yeah.
if you'd like to set up an appointment."
Yeah.
He's like, "How much would something like this cost?" I'm like, $3,000. No big
Yeah.
deal.
At least.
You know, at minimum 3,000. He goes, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Do you want to set up the appointment for Tuesday? That's my first opening. We can get you right in." He's like, "Oh, let me think about it."
Think about it.
I'm
Price
like,
shop,
yeah,
price
yeah.
shop.
Let me
Yeah.
check that out.
Price
But
shop
like,
your
and
way
obviously, like that stuff normally doesn't bother me, but obviously that day it did.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like,
Oh,
what?
yeah,
What does he
yeah.
think? What does this guy think? I just do only hot pink
You
eagles?
listen to me, princess. My dick's
Yeah.
bigger than yours.
Yeah,
man.
you know. So like at that point, like that night,
That's
I
what
went
want
home.
for my kids. though.
Yeah,
I want
you
my
know?
kids like
Yeah, so like I went home that night. I had like a weird dream where and this is kind of weird too. It was like a video, and then I was like wiping, as I went away, it was a neon like hot pink eagle, but like the karate kicking one, you know,
Love that.
real aggressive. I told my buddy because that was the time I was living above a mechanic shop, so I went downstairs and I was telling my buddies this, and my buddy's like, sold. So
I'll
my
do it.
buddy Newman has like a giant hot pink eagle
Love
on
that.
his
Fuck
thigh.
yeah.
It's like one of my favorite ones I've ever done.
That's great.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I feel like you run into people like that every once in a while, and you have to just humble them immediately. It's like, no, dude, fuck you. Like,
Well-
I'm here for a reason. Eat shit and get
Yeah.
the fuck out.
Well, and it happens
More
still.
so
Yeah.
for her, though.
Yeah, for
Naturally,
sure. It
you
happens
know
to
what
me
I
all the
mean?
time in my
Naturally.
own shop. Like
Yeah.
a month ago, somebody came in and like, actually, I'm lying. It's a few months ago. And he went to talk to one of the other artists. And I was like, hey, let me see if he has time. And I went over and he's like, got like 10, 15 more minutes. So I went back up front. I'm like, hey, he's got like 10, 15 more minutes. So just like hang out. You can go fuck off and go get coffee or something. And then he'll come, you guys can come back.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, no, we'll just wait. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So then I like go to like set up stuff and get things ready. And the guy goes, I went to open my toolbox drawer and the guy was like right here. And I was like, hey.
Why are you here?
Yeah. He's like, can I look at the flash? And in my head, I'm like, that's my fault. All the flash is like in my station. So yeah. And I'm like, yeah, dude, no problem. So like, and I'm trying to set up and he keeps just getting closer. I'm like, hey, can you like move so I can do this? He goes, oh, cool. Like, do you set up for the guys or like, are you like the shop help? Or, oh, are you the
What
apprentice?
fucking year do you think
and
it
I'm
is,
like,
motherfucker?
No, man, this is my shop and I'm a tattooer.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, dude. So it happens to me all the time. I remember conventions, like I was doing a convention with Billy White and Jen. And
Billy's work is so solid.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, so we were lazy turds and we were supposed to have our convention banners drawn and ready to go. We did not. So we cheated and we just did like elementary school photos. So above our heads is our faces.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there waiting for my client, and this person came up to me and was like, hey, does Billy have time? And I'm like, I don't know. And
Yeah.
he goes, is he around? And I go,
I don't
No.
work for Billy.
yeah.
I don't know why you're
I
talking
don't
to
know
me.
where he's at.
Yeah.
He'll probably be back soon. He goes, oh, well, I figured like you set up his appointments. And I go, sure don't.
Sure,
Like,
don't do that.
That's my face.
That's my face, and I'm a tatter.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
you,
waiting for
right?
my
Yeah.
appointment.
Yeah.
So I've, kind of dealt with that forever.
That's
But
so
it's all kind of funny
infuriating.
stories at least.
Yeah, at least now, like you can kind of look at it and be like, oh, well,
It's funny,
yeah,
whatever.
Fuck them. That's the other beauty of today.
Yeah.
Like, there's always another client. You could tell that
Yeah.
dude to piss right
For sure.
off.
Yeah.
You know.
But also this new, slightly new generation of tough as nails females is what I wish for my kids and nobody to feel like bullied by a man or even thinking that they can even like look down or talk
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
weird.
Like, who the fuck are you? First
Yeah.
of all, I'll smoke you. She will smoke me for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan personally. And,
But second of all, like it doesn't that the beauty
That
of
has
the
nothing
beauty
to
of
do
the
with
internet, like you were
anything,
saying,
though,
is you
you
don't
know?
post your face, right? You don't post
luckily
who you are.
she's tough as nails.
Well, I
Not
mean,
all
but-
females are that way. you
yeah,
know
with
what I
in
mean?
terms of the way
Is
you can
what I'm
accept
saying.
or not accept because that sounds weird, but like the way that you can deflect that bullshit is proper.
That's a good-
but
yeah.
another thing for you is like you don't post your face, you don't post anything except for your tattoos. So it's like you're not judging me based off of my sex or my gender. You're you're literally basing your decision off of
Which
how
I
well do
love.
I tattoo,
Yes.
Yeah.
and which is so proper in my opinion.
Well, and like me and my friend Amanda, she works at downtown in Vegas. Her tattoos are incredible. If you don't
Another
follow her, you
super
should.
awesome
Yeah,
shop.
like so I love Amanda. And me and her one day did look at the what is it, Instagram Insights or whatever, because I'm like, dude, I wonder how many like females versus males I have, because I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of interesting. I'm 50-50. Right
That's
down the
rad.
middle,
Really?
That's
you know,
awesome.
yeah. And I was like, honestly, I'm proud of that. I think that's awesome.
super
I
cool.
feel like I'm a unisex tattooer, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped, and Amanda looked, and she's the same way. And she
Yeah.
goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take off the name Amanda, and I'm just going to use my last name. And I'm not going to post any pictures of myself, and I'm going to see what direction it goes.
Yeah.
She did start getting more male tattooers.
Is that
Really?
Isn't it,
unbelievable
or like not
what?
tattooers, but like more male followers.
Yeah, sure.
Which is crazy, because then like a lot of them have been kind of like surprised that like, oh, it's a chick.
Oh, a girl did this.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
fact that we still say that sometimes is like kind of
It's
silly.
crazy,
but, you know.
really.
But
My
again,
buddy-
things are getting
My
different.
buddy Neezy
Talent is
talks
talent.
about. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's all bow the fuck down. Talent
Yeah.
is talent. I don't give a fuck what it
It
is.
separates.
man.
It does. It removes like a. It removes a barrier or a bar almost, and it puts everybody at the same level when it's just posting tattoos and that's it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It like there's no like swaying of people liking your stuff just because they think you're pretty. Or same way for me, like if
Yeah.
I posted a picture of myself, I've noticed like when I post pictures of myself, they do way better than my tattoos.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
that's always
I don't
weird.
like. Yeah, I don't like
And I'm
leaning
on
on
It's
that.
weird, but it's because the younger generations want to know you, and there's like, yay, there's a face, and like
Yeah.
I'm trying to adjust to that also, because like they can't even make phone calls, you
Yeah.
know.
Nope.
So they're terrified of everything and everybody and what's going on, and they need to know what's happening. So like they want to come into a tattoo shop and they want to know the face that they're looking for. And so that's part of the reason, like some of us might need to like try a little bit harder.
Yeah, and-
No one knows the difference between me and Roxanne. Every single time they're like, Heather, she's like, no, and I don't, and it's not their fault. I don't
No.
post pictures.
I
God
think
bless 'em,
I think
but,
also
yeah.
like that just leads to like more people coming into tattoo shops that are comfortable.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like it's stupid. I hate it that I have to post pictures about myself or post videos or do a podcast that has my
Surprise.
face on it. I'm actively doing it.
I like
Mhm.
that.
You're like,
the
I hate
surprise
putting my
factor
face
of
out
it
there.
all.
Yeah,
On a
but
podcast.
I'm doing it on this, but I haven't really posted about this on my regular Instagram. It's all kind of just been its own thing, and I do like a couple posts here and there, but I don't know, man. It's such a weird time. Like the
It is.
internet is such a weird animal.
It's good and bad.
Yep.
Again, double-edged sword.
Sure.
Yep.
Everything
100%.
will get better. Everything will even out, I believe, naturally in its own given time. But I'm all about that shit. I took an oath, and we both swore we'll never teach anybody unless it was our kids, and we all have girls, and our girls are tough as fucking nails, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Right.
How tough they are. You know what I mean? Naturally, and but that would no matter what route they go into, I mean,
Whether it be tattooing or something else, yeah.
anything, you know what I mean? But we got their
I always
fucking
said if I had a
back,
kid,
and
I wouldn't want them to be a tattooer. Like,
No, I don't. I
I
don't.
don't think it's as great as everybody says it is.
I
Like,
don't.
I
Well, and
think it's
especially
rad,
when,
but-
like, yeah, we love it and we've been in it, but like, you really have to dedicate your whole damn life to it, and it's really, honestly, it is more stressful. Like, people have this romantic idea of what tattooing is, and yes,
not
I'm still a
nearly that
part of it.
cool.
I'm in love with it.
I am.
I'm so in love with it. To the point where I don't think I've ever had like a normal relationship because I can't keep one up because I'm always like,
You're secondary.
I'm
Fixated
like,
on
dude,
tattoo.
and
This is my
yeah, this
everything.
is
Yeah.
like, I'm in love with it. Like, I get super emotional about it. Like,
For
this
sure.
is
Likewise.
my one true love, right? But when people are like, oh, I'd be so sick, I'm like, do you know I do nothing other than this? And it's, might I add, it's not a 9 to 5. It is 24/7, 24/7. And like, again, the internet and people being able to access us 24/7 is now a new thing, you know? And like,
unfortunately,
it's a lot of stress. So a lot of people, when, you know, because young kids, we all deal with that when they're like, I want to be a tattoo artist. I'm like,
no, you fucking don't.
It's not what you think it is. And like, there's been a couple times I'm like, you know, I can't like obviously kidnap an 18-year-old and be like, hang out with me for a week straight and I'll change your mind. Yeah, you know, but like, it's not what people think it is. And again, I wouldn't change anything for the world. It's my one love. I only do this. And but it is a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. And if you care about it, you're always holding yourself to a higher standard. I always want to get better. Like, I look at my tattoos every day. I'm like, fuck.
And if you don't, you fucking suck. If you don't hold yourself,
you start to do that little downswing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get up and then you're like, I'm killing it. And it's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're
and
out.
like the minute you get a little too confident, like somebody comes in with weird alligator skin and
you're like, you're like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
So true. It's like the one day you think you got it all figured out.
I should have quit 2 years ago.
It's time to do a fucking tight 3 tattoo on a girl's ribs, and you're gonna get shook immediately.
And I'm like, I don't know how to do a line at all.
Forgot how to tattoo.
Yeah.
This
You know,
morning.
that being said, though, I love those moments.
Yeah.
The humbling
I love
moments.
those. The ones
Yeah.
that like put me in my place. Like, I need to be better. I need to study harder. I need to.
Or I've done that where I'm just like, well, I put that into the world.
Yep.
Like,
made that.
Man,
That's
fuck it. I don't know how I even got paid for that. That sucks.
Man. I like when a tattoo comes back and there's just like a corner of black that I didn't hit, and the client doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
that breaks my heart.
Like, what? Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna touch that up. And they're like, touch what up? I'm like, don't worry about it. Like,
or they're awful and you don't want to get them back in. Like, man, fucking, it's good, man.
It's good,
I don't
dude.
want to deal
It's
with
great.
that guy.
That shit is
fucking
tight.
creep.
Oh man, I had a lot of that, and like living in one area during your. Did you notice that too? Like being in one spot and then having your apprenticeship there, and then seeing those tattoos. Like if I had to look at Mike's tattoo right now, I'd be
That
pissed.
hurts.
Yeah.
I'd get, but I love that Mike loves it.
Yeah,
I hate
super
it.
loves it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But like, those are the tattoos that I see because I moved away and then I came back and now I have to experience those tattoos.
Yeah, there's
again.
so many people. I wish they would lose the limb. You know, like get bitten off by a shark or
knock it off.
something,
This
or
kid-
alligator. Or
This kid Tyler, I just tattooed him the other day, and he has a tattoo from my first year on his shoulder that looks 15 years old. And I'm like, dude, fuck that tattoo. He's like, it was so cool.
It doesn't look that bad.
It's not that bad.
It
but
does not
but
look
he
that
was
bad.
like, do you want to blast some
You're a
fucking
drama
black
queen.
traditional over it? And I was like,
Yes, I do.
absolutely, dude.
For sure.
Like, let's
Please,
blast
God.
over that whole arm. Like, we'll get rid of that whole arm for you. You don't have to worry about it.
yeah, no, there's quite a few of those, and like, but the other thing is too, I try not to be too negative about it because like some of these people are so proud to like have that, and like they're so pumped that it was like they've seen me progress over the years, and I'm always like, I wish you would just disappear. But like, you know, it's one of those things too. I can look at it and be like, thank God I have grown and gotten better.
I grew.
Because there are a lot of tattooers that stay in that moment and they think they're awesome.
Tip
And
top,
they're like, dude, I am great. And you're just like,
you can see my dick from space.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I
way
hate
to
looking
be.
at my wife. I didn't.
You might want to word that differently.
Cut it
So
right
that
there.
was,
Yeah.
that was the shittiest fucking way to say that, but I like look at all this shit every fucking day, and it sucks. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, and that's
my,
why
my
people.
poor wife, she loves it.
And
like,
yeah, and
you know
she's
what I
proud
mean?
because again, she's like, these are his first ones, and it's like a
You know what I
showcase for
mean?
them.
Yeah,
I did
and
the dumbest peony leaves on my fiance, and I hate them. Every time
Yeah.
I see him, I'm like, why did I do those leaves? What was I thinking?
that
Why
was
did I do that?
You know, and like all those jokes too, where like, you know, it's like, what is it, like tat wife memes or something? I don't know. And they're always like, you know, about how they don't get tattooed, and it's like we're doing all of us a favor.
I tattoo
you know?
my wife once a year, and I haven't
Yeah.
tattooed her in 2 years.
that is
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
of the best exercises.
Yeah,
I think
we
know?
are doing them a favor. One,
Yeah.
you're not allowing me to have a mental breakdown every time I come home because I have to look at that shit, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck. And then also, you know,
I don't
at this-
even do roses like that
yeah,
anymore. bitch.
exactly. You know, and then also like I push anybody that I have dated in the past to collect tattoos. I'm like, dude, don't get
Yep.
covered in my shit. Look at all these cool people, like all these guest artists we're having. Like, I'm kind of living through them because I ran out of room,
Yep.
at least good spots. So I'm like, oh, get this really cool thing. You've got your whole forearm open, you know,
Yeah,
like
get
Right,
this.
right,
Yeah.
right,
I tell
right,
Emily, like,
yeah.
go to David Brule again. He already did your half sleeve. Like,
Yeah.
let him do
Dude.
your
Just keep
other
doing
arm.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
or collect for more people because
Or-
there's
yeah.
so many
That
rad
cat board
people.
is incredible.
dude,
like,
he did a fucking.
She
nice
she
cat
came
board.
right here to the shop right after.
Oh,
It
dude,
was,
he's
it was
great.
like still
I have
like
a big thing on my
bandaged.
thigh from him, and he's
Dude.
so nice.
Dude, he's
Yeah.
one of the nicest dudes I
He's so
ever
nice.
I met him in my
and
first year, and he like opened the book for me. Just
Yeah.
like, what do you want?
That's
to know? And I was
incredible,
like,
man.
fuck
That's
yeah,
so
this is
nice.
so sick.
Like, and he's like kind of a quiet dude, so a lot of people
Yeah.
find that to be like really off-putting, and they don't know how to
I
handle
met him
it.
in Richmond,
Yeah.
Virginia, the convention, and we all live in Florida, and I met him like for the first time in Richmond. Lower your voice, please.
I'm just trying to help you out, man.
And he was like one of the nicest. I felt like I knew him for like 10 years. You know what I mean? Like one of the sweetest dudes.
I think we were in Philly. It was like a huge group of people, and we're all together, and everyone in the group is just very loud. We're all like laughing, and Dave was there and just very quiet.
Just hanging out in the
Just
back.
quiet.
Yep.
Just
And then
watching.
and we went to like a fucking Philly cheesesteak place. Everyone's like, this is amazing, and he's just quiet.
Oh man.
And then so we get back to the hotel, and everyone's like, dude, does Dave hate us? Like, I feel really bad, or did something
Probably.
happen? And then but then oddly enough, within the next 10 minutes, Dave sent out in the group chat going, "Hey everyone, I had the best time ever.
Yep.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
hang out." And we're just like, "Did you? Are
Did
you
you?
lying?
Did you
What
have
is
a great time?
happening?"
Questionable.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that you hate all of us, and you're
Yeah.
never going to talk to us ever again. You know?
Oh man. That's got to be.
I did not hang out with David. I met him at the convention. It was very short-lived, and he was very sweet to me.
He is very, very
Let me
nice.
just say that.
Yeah.
I wanted to get tattooed by him.
I did not hang out with David
I was
Brule.
supposed to get-
I would have loved to,
Yeah.
naturally.
You totally
and,
can. I'm sure you can
totally
chase him
could.
down.
You could just
But,
pull up.
but he was
he's
super
pretty
sweet
close
to
to
me.
you.
Yeah, right down the street. Kind
Yeah.
of.
So,
But I was supposed to get tattooed by Henry Lewis at Red Letter 1, and that whole appointment fell through because Henry missed his flight or something. And I went up there anyway, just to check, because I'd never been to Red Letter 1 before.
Oh,
and I was
such
like,
a beautiful
I feel like
shop.
you have to go there. And at the I'm really glad that I got to experience it when I did in 2017, because it was like COVID hadn't affected anything.
Right.
Everybody was all there. Walter was there. It was
Yeah.
such a cool environment, and just being able to see coil machines that I didn't know existed. I got to see the grime set from
Oh, cool.
from Walter,
Yeah.
and I got to see what those machines look like. And unfortunately, those machines got stolen from him, which is
Oh.
really
That's
shitty.
shitty.
Well,
I
that's a
know.
sad
Yeah, it
end to
super
that
sucked.
story.
But
Bummer.
he was super nice. Let me check him out and let me see him, and I got to see where Phil mixes pigment, and I got to see all the pigments and stuff. It's so rad.
Yeah,
It's
they're
so
all
cool.
really, really nice. I basically with Dave, when I got tattooed by him, he was so nice. He actually came in on a day off to do it, and then so I got to look at the whole shop. I didn't get to meet everybody because it was,
Everybody's working and they
but
have their
it
own
was
rooms.
but it was just such a nice shop. After that, that's when I kind of fell in love with the whole for sure the tattoo shops that are in houses.
So sick.
It's just
Yeah.
so
It's
comforting.
so
You do
cool.
feel at home. I love that.
There's my buddy Cambo works at a shop called Cry Later, and it's in a small house, and it's. I think
Yeah, I
it's-
know. I
yeah,
internet
Cry
know
Later.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I internet know
internet.
it. I
Cambo's
internet
sick.
know it.
Check out
Yeah.
Cambo's work. I'll link you
Yeah.
up with his stuff. It's
Yeah,
super,
I
super
actually,
fucking
I
good.
think I follow them. I'm also very guilty of this. This happens to me a lot. I can't remember everybody's names, and I can't remember everybody's name
I
on the
know
internet.
faces.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and if I've had an actual conversation with you, hell yeah, I'm gonna remember. But I can't. It's so
Yeah,
hard.
it's
Have
tough.
you ever had
It's
the
mush
situation that you don't know a face or a name, but you remember that tattoo?
Yeah.
That's
So
I'll
they're
remember the
like,
tattoo 100% of the time, every time.
And you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit!
I'll remember
I'll
what
never see
what
that
the
again.
humidity was that day.
Like,
Yeah.
damn it! God
Yeah,
damn it,
dude.
Brianna!
Yeah.
God damn it, Brianna.
Well, and and conventions are shit shows, and it's just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like
It's like, crank 'em out, crank 'em
overstimulate. Yeah, and
out.
I'm I don't eat the
Yeah, no, I
entire
don't either.
time.
I don't either.
So I'm delusional. I don't know what's happening, and people are like, "I met you at that convention." I'm I'm so sorry.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah,
that
I
never
don't-
happened for
I
me.
don't know
Yeah.
what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I do the same thing anybody else does, where you mindly turn your brain off, and you just see something on the popular place. I'm I'll follow that person. Cool.
Yep.
But then they're lost in the sea of 8 million other people, and
Yeah.
I don't even know who I follow anymore.
My vision's just
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like.
Whenever I'm at a convention, I just turn my brain off and I do tats.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Awesome,
And
man.
I
Awesome,
I
man.
like to not book conventions. I like
Yeah.
to just show up.
Yeah.
I mean, I
You
haven't
do
done a
also.
convention
Challenge
since before
yourself.
COVID.
Really?
Before COVID, I was supposed to do a couple conventions. I was gonna do the Ireland convention, and
That'd
I was
be
gonna
sick.
I was
That
gonna go to
sounds
I was
super
going to
rad.
England, Ireland, and Australia, and I had all these really
all
amazing
sounds
plans.
super cool.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
it was gonna be
yeah,
so
yeah.
awesome.
I got to check
And then
out
it
the
wasn't.
London Tat
Nothing-
Con before
nothing-
they shut it down.
Really?
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was one I always wanted to go to,
I
and
never
I
got
just
to
could never
tattoo
make it
there.
happen.
I just showed up.
Yeah.
I just pulled up one day and just put everything on a credit card and just went to London.
Yes.
I was like, fuck it, dude.
Do it.
Just being a total degenerate. Just,
Yeah.
I'm going to
And
London
guess what?
today.
It was a memory. Sometimes I'm really bad at
Just heard
taking
that.
those risks because I'm
Mm-hmm.
always well, and I know that I've actually missed out on so many things. And actually, when I've been joking about how I work all the time, I'm actually actively trying to also stop doing that. And it's because I realized after 2020, I realized all the things I did miss with all my friends.
Yeah.
Like birthdays, different events. And then like over the years your friends die. And just because like I decided to take that one client for $300, I missed out on that thing. And then they died in a car accident on the way home. I'm trying to learn a better balance and to make sure that I do things and create these memories still.
I talked about that, about making promises and then choosing tattooing over those promises that I make. And that's such a tough thing to like, to solidify or to understand. Like when you're in the act of doing that kind of stuff, it's like, it's so fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you really think about it, it's like if you miss dinner with your significant other to make a $200 tattoo, like that shit sucks. When you really think about it.
And like you are hurting their feelings. And like that's the thing. I think I've always had a problem. I mean, I feel like this might be another weird one. I feel like guy tattooers have a little bit more luck in that department, because I feel like this is, again, just throwing this out there. There's no scientific anything behind this. Do not quote me on this.
This is all scientifically proven.
Yeah, do not hold me to this. But I feel like a lot
tomorrow.
of like women have a tendency of being like a lot more understanding. They have a lot more empathy.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have a lot more patience.
I agree.
Can
with
you
that.
imagine being a female tattooer and telling a dude that like you can't do that
Men
thing?
are so
or
fucking jealous all the
Dude.
time too.
I
Like
am
it, I
super
like
jealous.
Nick and I talked about this, and it's like I
Not
have
a
a
fault.
standard.
This
Yeah,
isn't
but
what I chose.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I am.
But like for me, I've gotten to a point. I think it's also like the older you get, the easier it is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, 'cause
for
me,
sure.
me at my 30s is way more understanding than me at 21.
Yes, yes,
It's like,
for sure.
if I was with a girl and she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to work instead," I'm like, "Fuck you!" Like
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
you're fucking not.
But I totally understand where you're coming from, because so many people are like, oh, you want to go hang out with dudes at the tattoo shop instead
Yeah.
of hang out with me? Like,
Yeah.
fuck
Like, it's not
that
what it
shit.
sounds like.
Yeah.
Not
But
even-
it's
not
totally
even
what
people
as much.
perceive it as.
No,
You
and
know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
like all of my exes have accused me of cheating. I obviously am hanging out with somebody at the tattoo
Sure.
shop.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, and think about it too. Majority of my tattooer friends over the however many years I've been in this, are dudes.
has to be
So I
difficult,
travel
yeah.
and I go stay with dudes, and then I go to
Has to be
conventions with
difficult.
dudes, and I stay in a hotel room with dudes all weekend, right? And then my phone doesn't work because I'm in a convention center, and I
I'm not
haven't
answering my phone at the
yeah,
convention.
I haven't eaten in 24 hours, and I have to draw.
And
for
I
my,
have AT&T.
yeah,
What do
you know.
want me-
Actually, I had Sprint, which is why I didn't work
Way
majority of the
worse.
time, you know. And like, so I always just like, and I'm like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but these people are my friends, you know. Like,
Right.
like at this point, it's nothing like weird, but like it was always something. Like I remember, and I always like, I'm like, oh, I'll try to date a tattooer. Ooh, that went
Yeah, I was
terrible.
gonna say, how did that
Awful.
go? Was that trash?
Oh God, I just don't have good luck.
We're
just in general.
maniacs.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
all
Well,
maniacs,
we're the worst.
realistically.
Well, just like, yeah. And like, so then I dated a musician, right? That shit, they do
Maniacs
nope.
as well.
Also,
Yeah.
did not work. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to date a dude who builds choppers. He probably has his own hobbies and like is secure and can handle stuff. He goes and does chopper stuff. Absolutely not. That didn't work out either. That actually was the worst one.
Really?
So like, yeah, it's not doing great. Like he was the one that was like, oh, obviously you're at a convention fucking partying all weekend. I'm like, dude, the convention lights turned off on me. I had to tattoo the person in the hotel room.
Yeah.
You know, like
and then they're like, "Oh, you brought your client back to the hotel
hotel
room."
room. Yeah. And I'm like, and then they're like, well, you party at the
That was
hotel
so
room. I
good.
go,
Yeah.
I do not party. I have never
No.
drank ever in my life. What partying am I doing? I go, we all got back to the hotel room, and some of us are trying to draw while falling asleep and drooling on the paper. And then we all have to like fucking wake up, and none of us talk to each other.
No.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
so loud
Like,
all day
it's
long.
real-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You got the announcer who's like, "Oh, best
Hurry up,
fucking
don't
day
run out
ever."
of the hot
Yeah.
water, motherfucker.
So like, 'cause I used to travel with like, so obviously I traveled with Forever Tattoo all the time, and then I traveled with Red Rose, like that whole shop
Yeah,
all the time.
right.
Like we, you know, we were always doing shit together. And I remember one time Jen was like starving and she's vegan, which was never convenient.
Which is the worst.
Yeah.
Me too.
So, because you know, like after the conventions, it's like 12 o'clock and there's like nothing fucking open and nothing going on, right?
Vegan places close at 4.
Yeah. So we
no
went to the gas station and like somehow she bought every yellow item. And like she came back and she emptied it out. And I was like, are you okay? She's like, what? I'm like, everything you bought is yellow. And she's like, it is. Like it was like anything that was like a vegan
Banana
option.
squash,
Yeah, like, but it was
fucking-
like so like now and laters, but it was all the yellow
Oh,
ones.
all
I don't know.
banana
It was like
now
a bunch
and
of
laters are the
weird
shit, dude.
candy. So it was like 1 o'clock in the morning and we are eating gas station food and somehow Jen is just eating yellow stuff.
Love it.
And so then when I came home and my ex was just like, fuck you, partying all weekend. I'm like, Jen just ate yellow.
Yeah,
She
the
just ate
whole
the
time.
color yellow.
And this, none of this, like, when you get done with the convention too, it's like none of this was really that fun.
No,
Like
you were so stressed the whole time.
70% of it was work,
And you're drained and you
30%
sleep
of
for
it was
2.5
kinda fun.
days.
Days
you know what I
afterwards,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
It's
are
almost like you
kidding
went
me?
on like a bender or something all weekend, and
Yeah,
all I did was
absolutely.
just work a whole bunch
And I
like
didn't.
a lunatic.
I got a pocket full of cash, and
Yeah.
I'm insane.
Yeah.
If I ever got in that situation, I would just throw the money at them.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I did this
That
weekend.
is that.
That's what I
Get
did.
away from
Yeah.
me.
Well,
Go
nice.
away. I'm going to bed.
My
Yeah.
poor wife.
Yeah.
man.
Oh, man.
So
Yeah,
like I feel like you guys, and I'm just making assumptions here,
No,
but
it's
I feel
totally
like
true.
you guys got it easier.
Yeah, no, I'll
I
live with
wouldn't.
that.
I'm not here to
take
argue with
that.
that.
I'll
Not
take
even
that.
a little bit.
I'll live
by
with that
default, which I
And that goes to, if you're a man and you're listening to the podcast, get it together. Stop being a jealous prick.
Yeah, or just like have some confidence or like understanding that like this career means the world to me, and
Yeah.
100%.
you know, like goddamn, let me
And
just
she's
go. I'm
better
going to
than
work.
you, and
Yeah.
my wife is better than me, and I just happen to get super fucking.
And I'm like,
lucky.
I'm super pumped from all my buddies that are lucky. Like Mark, like him and Mandy have been together. They just had their 20-year anniversary.
That's so rad.
That is
That's
insane.
so
I hope
cool.
I get that.
You know?
That's so unheard of.
And like
Yeah.
also too, because of like them and their relationship and like Mark's parents and like some other people, I do hold like things to a pretty high standard. I'm like, because I know it's
Sure.
possible.
Yeah.
It
you know?
is. It is.
And
I think you got to find somebody who does like a boring ass job. Because my wife has the most boring job in the
Like an
goddamn
accountant?
world, but she works so fucking hard. Like she works in treatment, so she just like, makes phone calls to insurance companies and stuff. But her job is so demanding that when she's done, she's like, I don't really want to hang out with you.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
really
you
care.
suck
She's
dick.
like, I
You're
don't really.
awful.
She's like, I don't really care if you're home or not. Like whatever you want to do, dude. Like
he's really good at that.
he's really good at that.
He's really
The
good.
boop boop boop.
Yep. No, I meant you like ninjaing in and out of the shop. You're fucking great at it.
Cal fucking bonga, dude.
Well,
dude.
we're at an hour 40. We usually run for an hour,
Oh, so we went way
but
over.
we went over. But that's okay.
So if anything, if we're saying anything at the end of the day,
at the end of the day,
At the end of
appreciate
day.
the ladies, appreciate your significant other, and if your significant other is far better than you,
which mine
professionally,
is.
either which way,
Oh man.
stop being a jealous fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Trust your fucking lady. Stop being a toolbox.
That's
And, just a little bit of fucking trust, man. You know what I mean?
And also, when you walk into Lucky Horse Tattoo, Heather is not the front desk girl.
I'm not the
No,
I'm not the
no, no,
apprentice.
no.
I'm too
And
old
she
to be
might
the
beat you
apprentice.
up.
You know,
She'll
that's
probably
always been the
beat the
really
brakes on
confusing
you.
part. I'm like, I am so old. Why do you think I'm the apprentice? God, like. I just like, I feel like, did I just like complain the whole entire
No,
podcast?
dude, I
I'm
don't
like,
think so.
I just
No.
hate men and I hate everything.
No.
No,
No,
I totally
honestly,
Crush it.
I
all
want
my best friends are dudes.
Yeah,
You know,
I
just
I
to
want
be
my
clear.
I
kids
will-
to listen to this,
Yeah. I
will-
honestly.
yeah.
more
And I
than
also like,
anything.
I don't know, was I supposed to say more shit about my shop? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It
I mean,
runs.
plug
Yeah,
your
it's
shop.
It's in
Plug your
Orlando.
shop.
It runs.
Yeah.
Lucky Horse Tattoo.
Yeah, Lucky Horse Tattoo. What's the address? Do you don't fucking know? You're a
Two-
fucking rock star.
Yeah, 2911. I don't know. It's on the Instagram.
Yeah, it's on the Instagram.
I don't.
Go to
I
the
don't send
Instagram.
myself mail.
Yeah,
I know how to
right.
get there. You
Yeah,
know.
my
You know,
palms.
you know what I did recently when I came back is I made business cards for the first time ever. in
Oh,
my
I have
career.
those.
Yeah,
I did that.
I put my phone number on it.
You're
no. Julio taught me the burner number.
Oh, yeah.
dude. And you know what's funny? I made that card and I put that number on
never
there, and
got
I was
that
like,
advice.
biggest mistake I ever made in my life. No one has texted me.
Oh, so that you just got disappointed.
I was like, this is going to
That's
be the
sad.
worst. People are going to call me all the time. Nobody, not one
Oh.
call. But everybody DMs me on Instagram. Like everybody just does
Yeah,
what they
that's
normally
easier.
do. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I
it's
kind
easier.
of like it that way. I wanted to like transition over to email. And then I was like, this is dumb because I don't ever check my email.
Yeah.
So I'm just going
And
to
email is very annoying.
Yes.
I did have to switch to that because I have like an assistant that does my emails for me.
That's rad.
I couldn't handle it. It was just too annoying. And it's just so time consuming, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I used to do it through text. So like that was easier. Like
Yeah.
that's an
Still do.
easier
I
way to
still do.
communicate.
Yeah.
But it just got too overwhelming and I couldn't keep up with it. And people are texting me starting at 6 a.m. all the way to 4 a.m. You know, it was
Yeah.
insane.
Fuck that.
Bling, 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 bling.
Yeah,
bling,
it was
bling.
too much.
Picture references. Thanks, Johnny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I will tell you, I got all my business cards by like Corey Clubs, and so they all match. And I was
That's
really
so
proud
sick.
of myself. I did that.
Yeah.
Super cool.
You know?
I like the
Super
way he's
cool.
been doing that art style.
Yeah,
on
it's
his
been
cards.
fun.
It's really
I tell
cool.
everyone should get a card.
Yeah.
Give him some money. He's
Yeah.
awesome. He's
Corey
really
Club's
nice.
great tattooer too. He
Yeah,
did
he
a
really
book,
is.
didn't he? He did a book as
He
well.
did like he's done books, and then he also has like a brush set
Oh, really?
and all that
I didn't
stuff.
know you had
Yeah.
a brush set.
Yeah.
That's the girl heads, right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
And he's
then
like super nice.
he
and
also did he did fucking what else did he do?
so many things.
Yeah, he was working during COVID.
Yeah.
He was one of those
That guy
tattooers
hustles,
yeah.
you know?
He was one of those tattooers. I did jack shit during
Yeah.
COVID, dude. I was such a scumbag the whole time. I slept and played video games.
I started
all that.
probably like 100 paintings. I started all of them.
Yeah, never finished one.
Never a single one.
Yeah, I was supposed to give Wayne a split sheet and I never did it. I have it
That
painted. I
commitment.
just never sent it. It's done.
Oh, that's even weirder.
It's worse.
Yeah, that's like the weirdest version. Because when people are like, remember that split sheet? You're just like, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's in a file folder at my
I
house.
don't fucking know what happened to that, man. The shop burned down,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, throw my whole career in the trash.
Yeah, but see from which rich mal and shit.
Yeah.
So did we go
I
over
don't
all
know
the
if
key points?
I think-
which
I
is
think we hit
buy
it.
some shit.
Do you have
Buy
any
some
advice
shit.
for
Personal?
females or any, not necessarily even females, new tattooers that are aspiring to be
Oh my
tattooers?
god, I feel like
Do
this
you
is
have
the
any
Bright and Bold
advice?
thing again.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like,
no,
I'm
do you have any
canceled.
advice?
Just put your head down and just work.
Yeah.
You know, like just focus on what you're doing, not what the internet's doing. Just do good tattoos. And like
Yeah,
at the end of the
right.
day too, it's for the clients. It's not for you and your internet
Thank
fame.
Yes.
So focus on them, making them happy. Also, your clients out in the world is also how you make money. That still happens. Because when they run into somebody on the street and they're like, that's super cool, where did you get that? I think a lot of people forget you still have to focus local. So
Absolutely.
go to the coffee shop down the road, get them to like you, you know, like be a part of the community a little bit. Because
Yeah.
like
Right.
people want to support you and be nice.
And
it
also
really doesn't.
focus on fucking healed tattoos. Stop
Yeah.
just taking pictures and
I'm a
not
big
focusing
fan.
on
Yeah,
like
because like those are walking around, and those
Yeah.
are your walk around billboards. Those mean a lot because it doesn't matter how many likes you got on Instagram. Like, cause like yeah, you have like cool, you have like 8 million followers, but like at the end of the day, people liking in Australia, they're not giving you any money.
it doesn't
Right.
matter.
You know,
Right,
so
right,
like you need to focus on local stuff a little bit more because I think people are thinking too big and like bring it down, bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
And because like back in the day, I would have to go hand out business cards, go to all the shows. And I'm not saying you have to be insanely social, but like I don't know, at least go to the local coffee shop.
Be
Yeah,
friendly.
just be
Go
social.
to the
and
sandwich
friendly.
place.
Yeah, sandwich place.
Go to the sandwich place.
Once we remember the sandwich place, we're gonna get them to sponsor the next
Yeah,
episode.
the sandwich place. Go to the pizza place.
Yeah. What
was
Make
that
friends
place again?
local.
I don't remember the name. I followed them on
Fucking
Instagram,
pick-
but I'm
pick-
not going
God.
on. I'm not going on my phone during
Like-
the
Yeah,
podcast.
no.
A good tattooer told me, just be humble. Be a
Humble,
kind
yes.
person. It doesn't take any effort to be kind.
Be humble and be
Yeah.
hungry, though. You
Yeah.
know?
And
Hungry
also,
for
I
new-
keep telling
new
Carl, the
knowledge.
apprentice at Forever Tattoo, I'm always like, you're gonna get out of it what you put in.
100%.
You know.
Yep.
So
Sure.
if you aren't willing to put in, you're not gonna get the same rewards out of it.
Yep.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you know, part of it, half of our job too, is being social. You know, like you have to be nice to your clients.
Unfortunately, sometimes,
Yeah.
maybe. You know what I
You know?
mean? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So did I do good?
I
Did I
think
do
you
okay?
did
You crushed
You did
it.
fantastic.
You crushed it.
I told you I can talk to
You
anybody
did
about
really good.
anything.
Yeah.
That's
hours.
honestly, I'm super pumped. Like, yeah, for females.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
I'm
try
just
to
pumped.
keep-
I'm pumped for you.
I try to keep this under my chin the whole time.
You did great.
you
Okay.
did so
You're,
good.
trying-
you're
So
the
and
only
man-
guest. You're the only guest so
we
far
set
that
the
took my
mics up,
advice
and I
Yeah.
sit,
and did it.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try so hard. I really try to follow instructions.
Nick
so.
starts the
He-
podcast like this and then ends it over here.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
and
did
he's like-
slowly start to scoot away a little bit, but
It's
then I'm like,
hard.
nope,
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
the chin
It's
on
tough.
top
It's
of the
tough.
microphone.
But no, seriously, thank you for coming out.
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
Thank
That
you for
was
being
huge.
so rad and for meeting us the first time tonight,
Mm-hmm.
which is super cool. Well, Nick said he's met you before, but
I had
Did
met
I meet you at a
I-
convention? God damn it!
Yeah,
knew this
I
was gonna
have.
happen.
I have, and it was super brief and super.
Which one
but,
was it? The Tampa one?
Tampa, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Tampa was always a shit show too.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Naturally.
Constant.
Did you ever
Constant
see
chaos.
like where everyone was like wearing the same colors of the same thing?
I love that shit.
I was organizing all that shit. That was me. I'm like, how can I
You
make all my friends?
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, how can I make all my friends look dumb and all of us do dumb
Yeah,
shit together?
we've met a couple times, but both of which I think it was 2 times actually. If I'm
now I feel
if I'm
worse.
being
Oh, it's
correct.
okay.
Yeah, but
it was so
conventions, I
brief.
started off with that. Conventions are a shit show. I don't.
Yep.
So the dude, I had a dude Blake working with me for a bit, and when I interviewed him, I'm like, "It's really nice to meet you." He goes, "I've met you. I've met you at conventions." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, that's you.
Fuck.
You didn't. meet
Sorry
me, dude.
about that.
Like
Yeah.
that never
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Listen,
Yeah.
I understand. Listen, my
Conventions
feelings
aren't real.
can't get hurt by any means, but
But yeah,
no, it's
seriously, like
I'm happy to see you here. I'm happy to see you even be pumped about doing this. Honestly,
Yeah.
realistically,
Yeah, thanks for
Robbie
believing
just
in what
tells
we're
me
doing.
to show up here at 8:00, and I didn't work all day. I'm
Nice.
lying. I worked all day.
he worked all day.
Oh,
Yeah.
I worked
perfect.
all day.
Yeah, I was like,
and
yeah.
I think you're
he
lying.
just
Kyle
like he
didn't
just
touch
like
his own
invites
neck.
me to hang
Yeah.
out, and I'm happy to talk. And
Yeah.
So thank you again.
And
though.
thank you
It's
guys
a
for having me
huge
and let me talk
privilege,
about all of
like-
the tattoo shops that I work at.
Yeah, for sure.
And basically, I'm a Florida tattooer. I
Yeah.
go through
You
all
are.
the shops
Yes.
all through Florida. So if you'd like to find me, I'm somewhere in Florida.
Yep.
Somewhere.
If you don't follow already, Heather Law Tattoos
Yes.
on Instagram, like do yourself a
tattoos or
fucking
tattooer?
favor.
Tattooer.
Tattooer.
Which is
tattooer.
even why I was
Tattooer.
even more annoyed when that guy just said I'm
Oh.
a hungry shop owner. I'm like,
You-
she goes, he's like, she probably doesn't even tattoo. I'm like, what?
Go.
That's what
do-
it says on my name.
listen, before we end this, did you hear the episode before though? We were talking about like one of your you
The
did
dog
this
portrait?
oh my god,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was phenomenal. I was like, stand down, little dude, like, and I was like dripping in sweat.
Which
like,
one was it? I mean, I guess you can't really tell
her
me.
name is Caitlin.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I'm talking about.
Yep, I do.
And she was so sweet, and I was like dripping in fucking sweat. I'm like, I know she's gonna see this. Like,
I
yeah,
love
well, I
that.
saw his rose. It was
Yeah,
great.
my
I'm not
rose
even bummed
crushed
about it.
it.
Yeah.
My first ever time. I should have
Yeah.
just stopped then. Should have just done that one. And
Yeah, just
Boom.
been
just
like,
called it a day.
Did it.
Fucking
Yeah.
hang up the
I'm
machines,
gonna
dude.
Just hold my.
Finished. Oh man. Well, thank you if you're all still here.
Thank you
I
so
really
much.
appreciate it. If you are on Anchor FM, please check out the active listener function
Yes.
on there where you can donate us either $1, $5, or $10 a month.
And store
That money
front
goes a long way to cover the stuff that we set up every day or every Wednesday for the podcast. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, please rate the podcast 5 stars on there and follow us on Instagram. And yeah, this is episode 8. Thanks for hanging out with us.